are looking at a legend in the flesh. Fresh about the keys to the jet. Blue quarter key on the set. Hold up. Pose. BB's in the chain looking wet. Deposit ain't hit the count yet. Verified like a check. Hold up. Pose.
Look back, pose, face down, touch your toes. Hate me, so what? Honey, on his, spread it out, pose. Need 100 racks for a show. They showing pics of they doctor. They say they're making his goals. He want me to hit him first. That I had the Winnie in a hearse. I drop a pic on the gram. Now he come with the thirst.
Can't undo these diamonds, put the heat on it. I was laying in my bed while she dreamed on it. Man, I touched that thing back with my knee on it. Man, my shoes was too fresh with my feet on it. Went to the jewel, top like the morning. 24 hours, then I was sold. I was not locked up, you was in hold. I know got life in they pose, all in they picture. She know I'm richer. Yeah, look at my wrist, hurt you feel sicker. She not missing, she not enough. I need a friend, I feel like Trisha. Total my car, I cannot fix. She crossed the pit. I got a lamp. I got a fist, like it's a ripstick, smack on my like that. Missed, I'm 30 M's in, still in the trench. Went to the dentist, cause I'm a menace. Cool, just for her bitch. Pose, 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 pose,
Hey guys, Rich Boy Jay here, back again with another live stream. As you can tell, I'm pretty hype for these new Mando sets. I have been hitting up Kohl's all over the city, trying to find these, and I finally found them today. So that's why the stream got pushed back. That's why it was supposed to be at 6. I had to push it back 30 minutes because I was on the way home from work, and I'm like, let me go ahead and just check Kohl's and see if I can find this freaking set. And I finally found it. Whew, that was tiring. He said, ew, if that's who I think it is. What do you mean, ew, if that's who I think it is? Oh my god. Yeah, guys, if you haven't been checking, check your Kohl's. They've been putting these sets out early. So, you might want to go check that out. That's the most turnt I've been in such a long time. Whew. I'm so glad I got these dreads now. He says the song. Jay, are you good, mate? Yeah, I'm great, bro. I knew whenever I got this set, I was like, I'm going to get hype on stream. It's going to be a hype. It's going to be a lit stream. Alex McBrick says, how come you got 2? One of my coworkers wants one. So one of these I'm going to probably give to him. And one of them's obviously for me. So yeah, I'm going to put this one aside. Actually, I'll just put this one right here. And we'll crack this bad boy open. My table's like kind of a mess right now. Because the plan was actually to build Starkiller. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But we're definitely going to start with this new Lego set. It's the most wonderful time of the year, guys. It's the time of the year where we get to get new Lego Star Wars sets. And I will always appreciate that. Speed Lego says, did I see any other new sets at Kohl's? Yeah, they had, these are only Star Wars sets they had. Otherwise, I would have bought all of them. But these are only Star Wars ones they had. They did have a few other non-Star Wars 2021 sets. They had the Ghost Rider set. They had all of them. They had like all the Mario all the new Mario sets. They had their... I'm trying to think what else they had. They had a bunch of sets. I don't really pay too much attention to things that aren't Star Wars, obviously. But they did have quite a few sets. But, all right. Now that I've caught my breath, let's go ahead and do the rundown real quick. This is going to be a guest stream, so if you guys are not members of my Discord, go hop into there. And, we'll get to talk. But shout out to Comic Bricks, Tyrek Thorn, Speed Lego, Skilled Cashews, some dude named Kedem, Lego Captain Rex, WMBO Ego, Lego Boy 88, Korean Jedi, Alvin and the Squirrels, Baby Yoda Plays with Lego, Angel Cott, Jack's Ear Boy, Bounty Hunter Breaks, Hollow Net. I don't know, did I say Speed Lego? Alex McBrick, of course. What's up, dude? Squid Man. It's been a little while. How are you? Ty Suki, Drew Albritton, what's going on? Eggs Benedict Cumberbuns, Count Ravioli, Commander Glitch 101. Says that Rich Boy J, Bricktones Productions found the oldest Lego Star Wars video on YouTube, and it just happened to be a stop motion, so you could put in your old stop motion series. Huh, that does sound interesting. Hey, what's up, Lego Mike? How you doing, bro? Got my boy Spiffy in the chat, Nate the Great, Trin Snyder, Ivan Rodriguez, NMAA, Jonathan Clues. What's up, Trevor? Dutastic. No, I'm not watching the basketball game. I'm here. I'm here to entertain you guys. I'm here to get lit over Lego. I swear, honestly, like, somebody obviously clip me getting lit over these Lego sets. And I defy anyone to find a more lit Lego video than the intro of this stream. I challenge anyone to find that. Is that I'm going to go rewatch the intro. All right. Hey, Lego Boy 88 starting us off right with the $1 dono. Appreciate that, man. All right, I'm going to hop in the live stream. And let's get this thing started. Actually, let me make sure my mic is correct and audio is correct. We are good to go. Let's do this. It's hot in here. Oh, my God. Maybe I should get my fan. Hold on. I'm going to grab my fan real quick. Give me one sec, guys. In the meantime, go rewatch the intro. In the meantime. Chase. He's not in the room. All right, I'm back, guys. Woo. All right, we're good to go. Let's do this.
Yo, yay.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, I'm hype.
I was gonna say you're doing good, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm super hyped to have a new set. It's always a certain level of excitement when you can get a new set early, like for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. I would be excited by a new set, but like sometimes the source material of the set is like not exciting enough for me. Like, I don't know, Mando has, I don't know, it's kind of gotten me depressed, so I'm like, I don't know if I'd be that excited over that Mando set, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm never one to hold the source material against a good set. In my opinion, a good set's a good set. Like, I love the Republic gunship. And Episodes 2, I don't know if Episode 2 is my least favorite Star Wars movie, but it's among my least favorites, so, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Where did I find it? I found this at Kohl's. If you guys want to find this, I guess U.S. I don't know. I don't think Kohl's is anywhere outside the U.S. But if you guys do want to find these, they're at Kohl's.
Yeah,
that's not a guarantee. They might be at Kohl's. Kohl's is still kind of getting them in right now.
Right. We have like a version of Kohl's, like an Indigo or Chapters. Like we have that.
Says the call volume is a little high. I'll lower them a little bit. All right. This should. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I need to actually. Let me turn that off. Okay. It should be good now. Let me know how it sounds, guys. Hey Jay, you mentioned you were waiting for something to bring you back to Mandalorian. Do you have an idea of what that would be? I mean, I don't know. I think what I ultimately decided was once I get something that I'm genuinely excited for in Star Wars, I'll feel better about watching the derivative stuff. You know? Like, once I get something that I'm like, okay, like, this is good, I'll feel better about indulging in some of the other things. But for now, it just kind of makes me... I don't know, I just rather not at this point. Okay, Mando has a jetpack in this set, right? Does he not? Oh, apparently he doesn't. I'm, like, looking for a jetpack. Does Mando use his jetpack often in Season 2?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Oh, okay. I guess he had it in the first episode, right? He had it in the first episode. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he flies into the mouth of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird that they didn't include it in the set. Yeah, he says, Taisuke says F to this set for no jetpack. I agree.
Yeah, that sucks.
Captain Rex Productions says, Jay, have you seen the new Hasbro Darksaber? Yes. I mean, I didn't see it really up close, but I saw that they're releasing a Darksaber. I don't know. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer per se, but I've never really seen the appeal of the Darksaber. Like, it's just kind of whatever to me. It's black, and I guess that's kind of cool, but I can't say it's like when I saw it in Season 1. I can't say I got like excited over it. It was just like, oh, he has the thing. Okay.
Yeah. The Darksaber stuff very odd in this season. Like in the finale of Season 2, we're allowed to talk about like not spoilers or talk with spoilers, right?
We talked spoilers last time, so I think we can. Yeah.
Okay. So like, there's this whole scene where the Mandalorian has a Darksaber because he defeated Gideon, and then he's like,
right.
"Oh, Bo-Katan can't take it because she has to defeat you in combat." It's like, when was that ever a rule? Like, what? Like, she takes it for the being without having to combat her. So like, why is that a thing? Like, it was weird.
Here, I'll give you the answer to that. For now, it just doesn't make sense. But I'm sure later on we'll get some explanation in Season 3 where she's like, oh, like, between now and the Clone Wars, I did some soul searching and realized I need to adhere to my Mandalorian principles. I know, wait, no, hold on. Yeah, exactly. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, between this and Rebels, I guess. But
yeah.
I
mean, what, like, it's so hard to get over. It's hard to get, like, concerned about discontinuities in Star Wars because, like, a discontinuity is only a discontinuity until they retcon it, right? Like,
yeah,
like,
true.
And I guess in a universe where we accept that Darth Maul survived falling down that exhaust, it feels so trivial to get upset over, like, oh, Bo-Katan took the lightsaber before, why is she not taking it now? Like, this Star Wars, guys. Anything and everything can happen.
See, this is why I'm so depressed, because it's just like, that's not how it should be.
I mean, I agree. There absolutely should be standards, but there aren't.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
I got the sets at Kohl's.
Hold on one sec. Let me turn your volume up. Say that again?
I'm guessing now you got the sets at Kohl's.
I sure did. I've been I've been to Kohl's more times in the past week than I've, like, ever been in my life. Like,
I went Sunday, I think, and I didn't find any of the Mando set, but I got that Ghost Rider car from Marvel.
oh,
That's
sweet.
a cool thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw that today. Yeah, I did get Kohl's cash. I didn't know what it was, but they gave it to me, and I was like, oh, like, hopefully y'all get the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, and I will definitely be using this.
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna get that X-Wing and TIE Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna get the TIE Fighter. I'll get the X-Men.
I think if I had any restraint whatsoever, I would probably not get either of them. But, I mean, Lego has me by the wallet, and I'll buy any new Star Wars thing. Except the helmets. The helmets is where I draw the line. But, like, I mean, yeah. You know how
I
it
don't have
goes.
any display room for the helmets.
You should just stack them all on top of each other. Do the helmets come off of that black stand?
I have actually never seen a review of any of those.
I never got a helmet. I was gonna get the Boba Fett one, but no.
Boba Fett's probably the best one.
Yeah.
I feel like at least from what I've seen, like in stores, the TIE pilot helmet's the one that sells out most often. But I think Boba's
That's all.
definitely looks the best.
Yeah, I want to get the Boba Fett one
Yeah.
at least.
There's like more to do on. There's like more playability features on it.
Oh yeah, there's the
All of
antenna you can let up and down.
My favorite play feature.
That has to be the best play feature of any Lego set ever. I was trying to think, what were we discussing? Oh, I remember I was at the Lego store and I was showing a customer like it was like a monster truck set. And like someone mentioned like, oh yeah, like it has a play feature where you can take the wheels off and like, oh, it's like a broken thing now. And I'm like, that doesn't count as a play feature. Like like, oh, you can take the wheels off and now it's a broken monster truck. Like, nah, I'm not with that one, Chief.
I
Oh,
can
hey.
smash my Lego set. That's a play feature.
Exactly.
I can yeet my slave one across my room. Oh look, play feature, it flies.
Exactly.
That's
It's
the
like
play
I can
feature of the Razor.
take Darth Maul's legs off. That's a play feature, guys.
Speaking of yeeting, Just Too Good uploaded a video where he destroys his Star Destroyer.
Why is everyone destroying things? Matt's destroying Jeddah. Matt's destroying Jeddah. Just Too Good's destroying his Star Destroyer. Dave Filoni's destroying Star... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm too happy right now to go in on Dave Filoni. Although I will say that I'm finding it harder whether or not I need to like divert blame to him or Favreau for this season. I feel like the reason I default Filoni is because a lot of the things I didn't want to see are like things just Filoni does, like things he's kind of gotten a track record of doing. But but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Jon Favreau wrote like basically every episode. So if you were to say like it's the story's problem, that's gonna go to Jon Favreau more so than Dave.
I feel like some of the
Dave
ideas, though,
directed.
given to him by Dave Filoni. Like,
Yeah, I mean they absolutely like sat down before it and were like, okay, like let's figure this out. I don't know if we'll ever fully know who did what, but I mean I guess at the end of the day it's Favreau's show, and I feel like he probably gets the end say. Like, but then again, like you sit down and you're writing a show and you're next to Dave Filoni, and it's like, how do you say no to Dave Filoni? Like,
yeah,
right.
Well, Jon Favreau said to Robert Rodriguez, just use 19 pages and fill it with action. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
yeah. Dave Filoni's kind of like the Star Wars Jesus.
Nah, man. Darth Vader is Star Wars Jesus.
What?
All right, here let's jump right into the controversial content. I was thinking earlier today, I don't know if I'll make this video because I've had enough heat for 1 year, but I was thinking of who are the most overrated Star Wars characters to me? I think right now as it stands, Ahsoka's probably at the top of my list.
I saw the meme you posted in chat about saying Ahsoka's arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka's probably at the top for me. I feel like Boba Fett's up there as well. Even though Boba's, I don't know, quote unquote, been redeemed with Mando, like he's more than just what he was. That's still I feel like he's overrated because we had to go to these lengths to get there. If that makes sense, it's like, oh, like of course Boba Fett deserves all this extra time. He's Boba Fett, like if there were ever a character who was undeserving of that amount of prominence for what they did previously, I'd say it's Boba Fett. So Boba's still up there for me. I think Darth Maul's up there as well. I mean, really for the exact same reason as Boba Fett. People, I feel like if there were such a one-dimensional personality-less character in the sequels, they would just get ripped apart. If that was the villain, if there was a Darth Maul type villain in those movies, people would hate them. But my point of all this is, so here's the one I think might surprise a few people. I think I might actually put Darth Vader on that list.
Overrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Anakin or just Darth Vader as like a character himself.
I think Anakin, like prequel Anakin, I'd say also, but I'd say Darth Vader's overrated because of prequel Anakin. It's like Vader's like super popular, right? And then it became like, oh, like how do we make his backstory? I mean, apparently he needed a backstory, so like how do we do this? And like he became like Star Wars Jesus. It's like that. Like, you take a character that was important, but he wasn't, like, Star Wars Jesus. It's like, oh, it's Darth Vader. Because all the fans love him, the only way to, like, do him justice, the only way we could explain how a character as great as Vader could be that great, oh, like, he had to be, like, born of the Force, which just seems absurd to me. Like...
He's not even that powerful.
Yeah, like, yeah. And I feel like ever since the original trilogy, we've been doing everything we can to make canon Vader catch up with fan Vader, because I feel like canon Vader and fan Vader are two different things. Like fan Vader is just like unbelievably powerful and just the most the greatest thing since sliced bread and Star Wars Jesus. So it's like, okay, like how do we? It's like we're still, even at this point, trying to live up to that. Like, that's why the Rogue One scene happened. It's like, we watched Vader before, and we developed a perception of him that was greater than what we saw. So now, retroactively, we're trying to make him as great as we want him to be. Like, Vader's not a bad character in any shape or way, in my opinion. But, like, I feel like the extent we go to make Vader, insanely powerful, I'd say he's overrated in that regard.
Yeah. And now they're doing the same thing to Luke. It sucks.
Yeah, Luke is the exact, yeah. I'd say Luke is still up there for me because if there were a character who, I guess, quote-unquote, deserved it, it'd be Luke. Like, Luke is, like, the Star Wars character. Like, Luke Skywalker is synonymous with Star Wars for me.
If you were to ask somebody who had never seen any of the Star Wars movies if they knew any Star Wars characters, they'd most likely say Luke.
Mm-hmm. I'd say Darth Vader.
You know what's sad? In 2020, it's Baby Yoda. Like, more people know Baby Yoda than I'd say any Star Wars character.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
kind
true.
of like going up to a person that's never heard of Pokemon, but they know Pikachu.
Right, yeah.
Obviously, they're gonna know that main character.
But, like, Baby Yoda is a main character, but he's not Luke Skywalker, you know? But, like, to most people, like Baby Yoda's the only Star Wars character that they, like, distinctly, like, recognize and know. And yeah, Baby Yoda is more popular than Yoda.
Yeah, he
But everyone calls him Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But nobody likes him as much.
Angry Rebel Productions 345 says, bruh, Vader is so OP. Trevor says, whenever I was watching the original trilogy, I always thought Vader was just a really high-ranking officer. I mean, yeah, like, Vader was subservient to Tarkin in the original trilogy, but, like, in hindsight, it's Vader's, like, godly, like, I don't know, it's just, it's crazy. It's like Vader shows up and it's like, oh, like, everyone's just, like, terrified of their life. And, like, Leia is just, like, mouthing off to him, like, no big deal, like, who cares? Like, I don't know, like, it's just, there's such a big distinction between, like, I always bring the Rogue One scene. The Rogue One Vader is so much different than, like, Episode 4 Vader.
Yeah, he's weird.
He uses a lot of, like, different force powers, and he seems a lot more stronger than he was than in A New Hope.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
he's ripping apart guys instead of... But, like, in Episode 4, he was just, like, soldering... He was just, like, doing, like, a little saber fight with Obi-Wan. It's so different and it's so funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
Even though that it's a couple days apart.
In one
Hey,
day,
real
I
quick,
became super
he
safe.
says, shout out to Colt real quick. He says, Hail Santa, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Enjoy your Ruin Johnson Star Wars Episode 8 IQ 4 dummy. Appreciate that, Colt. Oh my god. With the 666 donation. Guys, Colt made an evil donation.
Evil donation.
Jay, how do you feel about the Boba Fett TV series? I mean, it is impossible for me to care any less about the Boba Fett TV series.
I probably will not watch that. Oh my god.
Like, as someone who basically boycotted Mando because of Boba Fett, like, I can't, like, I just have no interest in a Boba Fett show.
And
What about a movie?
Oh, yeah, that's what we need, guys. I saw enough of Boba Fett and Robot Chicken. I got my Boba Fett fixed then.
Robot Chicken Boba Fett is more entertaining than any Boba Fett in the movies.
I don't know, man.
True.
Man, episode 2 Boba Fett was pretty top tier. Dad, Tuan Wee's here.
Get him, Dad, get him!
Get him! Ha ha ha!
Oh man.
Oh, Wavy
Where
Red's-
would we be in life without Episode 2?
I know, right? Oh, real quick, Wavy Red says, okay, what about Obi-Wan? So this is the one, I think, actually, so I think Ahsoka's at the top of my list, but I think Obi-Wan's probably, Obi-Wan should be number 1, and I think any other time Obi-Wan would be number 1 for overrated characters. But I think Obi-Wan, for me saying Obi-Wan is overrated, might be more controversial than me saying Vader is overrated. Because, like I love episode 4 Obi-Wan, but, like, prequel Obi-Wan, I actually just don't like that character, like, at all.
What about Clone Wars Obi-Wan?
I mean, Obi-Wan is just so
A different
stale
character.
in Clone Wars to me. Like, he's not, I don't know, I just...
Alright. That's one man's opinion.
I don't know. Like, if I watch the compilation of Obi-Wan scenes from Clone Wars, I might feel differently. But like I can't remember any Obi-Wan moments from Clone Wars where I'm like, oh, like that's a good character moment.
The only interesting stuff is when he's with Satine, and it's kind of like, oh, he's sort of like Anakin at this moment, but that's kind of it.
Yeah,
I would say Obi-Wan has some. I wouldn't say he definitely. I mean, he isn't the center of attention in Clone Wars, obviously. I mean, some episodes he is, but like, obviously they're not focused on changing Obi-Wan. They do take times, and I think Satine was and you guys are right. Yeah, Satine was the biggest. Like, hey, look, Obi-Wan is more than just like what we see him as. Like, he has had struggles of like. He even said I would have left the Order, which is really interesting for prequel Obi-Wan because he's kind of a stickler for the rules. It seems like. But...
Please don't defy the Council Master, not again. That's probably my favorite quote in episode 1.
Wait, so Jay, I had a question.
What's up?
You're very and I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with you. I'm questioning you. So
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Good old-fashioned Jedi Bob and Jay combat. So you're very like, okay, my problem with Rogue One Vader is, yeah, it's a spectacle, it's cool, but it doesn't make sense for Episode 4 Vader.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I agree with that. While I don't care, I agree with that. It makes sense, what you're saying. But wouldn't you say the same thing, to a lesser extent, with Episode 5 Vader and Episode 4 Vader? Specifically, when he duels Luke on Bespin. Where in Episode 4, he duels very, flaky. It's very almost pathetic in a way. Like, yeah, it's cool for the time, but obviously they were limited, and there's reasons for that. But, nevertheless, in Episode 5, he's a lot more like, he's still fighting, like the lightsaber is a real weapon and not just a toy, but he definitely is more like athletic and all this other stuff. Would you not say that?
Not really.
I wouldn't say
I
that.
was also kind of
because
toying
that's-
a little bit with Luke.
No, it's not. No, it's not that he wasn't able to kill Luke or anything. I'm just saying, like, in Episode 4, he's very just like, little spin trick. Like, he's not doing these crazy.
Well, what does
he's
Vader
swinging,
do in
but-
episode 5 that's crazy? I guess
I'm
that's...
just saying first of all, he's using the Force a lot more.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
okay,
look
but
at-
that, like, I don't know. I didn't...
much opportunities to use the Force in Episode 4, whereas in Episode 5, there's all these things around him, so he's able to use it, right?
It's true. But
I
what about?
think-
I'm just saying the way he fights, he's a lot more like. He's just more in there, and I mean, obviously in Episode 4, he's trying to attempt to kill Obi-Wan, right? Like that's his goal there. In Episode 5, he's not even attempting to kill Luke; he's just trying to disarm him, and he's going harder than he was trying to fight Obi-Wan.
Well,
And obviously there's reasons for that. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, but shouldn't the logic apply there too?
I would say here's why I'd say it doesn't. Because Vader is still presented the same way. Like I'd say Vader is still Vader in that scene. Like he's not like a horror villain character. He's not like mercilessly just slaughtering people. Like he's still Vader. Like he does a little bit more, but I would still say it's in line with the Vader we saw in Episode 4. Rogue One is like a completely
it's on
another level.
steroids.
Yeah,
And that's why I said to a much lesser extent, but nevertheless, it is. You know, it's not nearly like I don't complain about it, but I'm just saying, I'm like, is that I'm sorry, I just noticed something in the stream, but behind you, do you have your pod racer mock?
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize you guys see that. Yeah, that's it right there behind me on the floor.
I just saw it. I'm like,
yeah.
wait.
I wonder if that's the first time that's actually been
Prequels.
visible on stream. Yeah, that's been sitting down there for like years now. That's basically all that's left from, other than like the actual pod racers. That's all that's left.
Oh, that's sad. Let's have a moment of silence for the pod racer mock.
They'll be back, and I mean that in the actual way, not the Ray my parents are coming back kind of way.
No one's ever really gone.
We took the. Oh man, they took that line a little bit too literally. I feel like
The new version. Sometimes fate intervenes from the Mandalorian.
oh boy.
Sometimes Dave
But
Filoni
anyways,
intervened.
we're going back to Obi-Wan.
Right.
Obi-Wan for me is just like, there are so many things to not like about his character that I don't understand why he gets so much praise. Like, it genuinely baffles me that people love him so much. And like, because of memes, like he's almost perceived as like a funny character. And I can confirm, as someone who was in the theater in 2005, no one laughed at any of his scenes.
I would say in the Clone Wars, he's kind of. I wouldn't say he's funny. I would say he's kind of witty in the Clone Wars.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Not in the
And that's
prequels,
fine, but do people love Obi-Wan because of the Clone Wars though? I feel like when people
I
talk
would say it
about,
has an influence.
I would say when people talk about the Obi-Wan they love, it's almost exclusively from Episode 3. Like,
That's just memes, really. I mean, Obi-Wan.
I mean,
is,
no,
like,
but
I
like,
like
but the
Obi-Wan
reason,
from Episode 3,
but the reason people are like clamoring so hard for Ewan McGregor to come back is because of his portrayal of Obi-Wan. Like,
Yeah.
like no, like, I think.
But if you have
that's
the right
pretty-
writing,
I
I
mean,
would say
fine.
his portrayal of Obi-Wan was, in my opinion, good. I enjoyed it, at least in Episode 3. Like, I don't. Obviously, some of the dialogue is McClunky, but you know.
McClunky.
I'm Dave Filoni now. I can throw in Star Wars references. No, but like, I think Ewan McGregor did a good job, especially when we're talking about the prequels, as Obi-Wan. So I feel like him, under correct writing, which he will be, it's pretty hard to get as bad as the prequels were. I still love the prequels though. I think
mean,
he'll
that's
do a
fine,
really
yeah.
good job.
I think
describe
of,
your relationship.
I think Episode 1 Obi-Wan is kind of blah. Like, he doesn't do much. He's just along for the ride.
You're
Like-
right about one thing, Monster. The negotiations was short.
Like, that's supposed to be funny. Like,
Hey,
he's
laughed.
like, no, you did not. No,
Yes,
you
I
did.
did. I'll laugh about it now.
Oh my god. Okay, Jedi Bob.
Ha ha ha.
Anyways, but yeah, like that was like a quote unquote comedic moment. So I'd say Episode 1 Obi-Wan is just whatever. Like Episode 2 Obi-Wan is just out of control. Like, I have a hard time watching him in that film because I just detest him so much. I don't know if there's a Star Wars character.
Dialogue in that film was weird.
I don't know if there's a character I detest more than Episode 2 Obi-Wan specifically. Because he's like, yeah, like, everything wrong with Anakin is, like, your fault. Like, straight up. Like, you're just not a good person. Like, all he does in that movie is get mad at Anakin for doing things that he ends up doing. It's like, bruh, like, come on.
I mean, but he is funny.
In Episode 2?
Yeah. I need to tell you how hard I cracked up when I first rewatched Attack of the Clones and I saw Obi-Wan yeet himself out that window. Me and my brother were literally crying. We thought it was
That's not
funny.
supposed to be.
But that's
funny,
not,
though.
yeah, one, it's not even supposed to be funny, and two, like, that's not like a funny moment for his, that's not something how do I even put this?
He did it for the joke. Don't
Yeah,
you know? He
yeah,
did it for the bit.
Obi-Wan's just the laugh of the party.
Obi-Wan knows it was a movie. He was like, what would be funny?
He's like, you know what would just be crazy right now? I'm just gonna jump out this freaking window. Let's
I hate
do
it when he does that. As if Anakin does this often, does he just jump out?
I hate it when he does that.
Well, I mean,
I
Anakin
love
likes
his back
jumping out of cars.
I was beginning to wonder whether or not you got my like, dude, like honestly, like F you, like this man showed up and tried to save you. It's you who got caught, and then he's like, "Oh, good job." Anakin should have been like, "Okay, look where you are. Good job."
Dude.
I really wish I would honestly, if I could rewrite that movie, I would rewrite the movie for Anakin to talk back to Obi-Wan way more often. Like Anakin shows up and he's like, we tried to save you, and Obi-Wan's like, good job, and then Anakin would be like, weren't you supposed to be figuring out like where the clones came from? Oh yeah, good job.
That's kind of like how Ahsoka was in like the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars.
She kind of talked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like bratty.
Shh, bro, everyone loves Ahsoka. Ahsoka
Hey,
is
Ahsoka's cool.
Ahsoka is what Disney is. Everything Disney wished Rey could be.
Hold up. You're not dissing Ahsoka out here, are you?
I mean, I can. We don't have to go there, but I
Who
can.
else would I be doing? Rich Boy Jay.
Yeah, Jay is dissing Ahsoka.
Oh, boy.
I think it's more should make a diss track for Ahsoka that bothers us.
I probably should do an Ahsoka diss track. It's time.
Oh, God. Don't give him ideas, please.
I want to give them more ideas.
Do it.
I'll do it.
More content.
Why don't you do a Rey is a Mary Sue diss track? Even
I'll
though
do
she's
that.
not.
Not season 1 Ahsoka. Anyone but season 1 Ahsoka. I think the thing that just shocks me is like most Star Wars fans now are too young to remember when everyone hated Ahsoka. So it's like quote unquote controversial to say, oh, I don't really care for her character. But like that's not like surprising thing,
I always liked her.
How old were you when the Clone Wars movie came out?
6. That's why I've always said Star Wars is Clone Wars for me a lot of times, because that's literally how I got introduced to it. Like, I would literally play with my leg. No, yeah, the movie, but it's mainly the actual show.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking the movie. Trevor says, Jay, we need your channel to grow no Ahsoka diss track. Oh, I'm not brave enough for that.
Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
You think his last Jedi defending video got dislikes? Oh wait, you haven't seen the Ahsoka diss track yet.
Honestly, what do you think would be more controversial? An Obi-Wan diss track or an Ahsoka diss track?
Obi-Wan. You mess with the memers, you mess with all of us.
I think Ahsoka just because she's so popular right now. Like, Obi-Wan's always popular, but like, Ahsoka's in the like line right now.
People would call Jay sexist. They feel like they look shitty.
Jay would never defend a woman in Star Wars. Luke Smith says, how much do I have to pay you for a Last Jedi diss track? Donate $50 and I will trash The Last Jedi right now. I have no morals.
How about because wait, that's unfair though, because yours would be disingenuous.
I mean, if you want to hear me like rip that movie apart, then I mean I'll try my best.
But it'll fail because you like the movie too much.
I mean, if you're asking how much money, like at that, I feel like at the point where you ask me that question though, you're accepting the fact that like it's gonna be disingenuous.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I can rip the Last Jedi a new one.
But guys, how do bombs fall in space?
Dude, I got so angry over that, and it was kind of dumb. I think that scene is still kind of dumb. Not that the bombs are falling, but the fact that she's breathing as a vacuum of space is open. I'm just like, wait, what?
Time to abandon ship.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, there's clearly like air in the bomb compartment. Why is that?
Yeah.
When I was watching it, I was like, dude, I don't think there's like any shields or anything. I'm pretty sure she's just breathing in space.
She's definitely not just breathing in space.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. The one scene in The Last Jedi that I still don't like, and I don't know if you even defend it, but man, ever since I was a little boyo, is the Leia floating around in space. I was like, what?
How old were you when that movie came out?
I don't know, like 10? No, wait, no.
No, you were not. You were 15.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
20, yeah, I was a freshman in high school. Boy, that was a fun time.
People complain about that and time travel and Star Wars. Why don't people complain about Grievous in space? That's what I don't understand. Time to abandon ship. Like, we know he breathes. We know for a fact Grievous has to breathe. But, like, no one cares that he, like, yeeted himself into space.
Well, he was an alien. I mean, certain aliens can breathe into space, so...
Why, though? Why?
So his lungs were, like, broken.
It seems like every planet in the Star Wars universe has a breathable atmosphere.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and I'm fine with that. Like, whatever. Like, I mean, if they really want it, they could go to a planet that doesn't have that. But like, whatever. Like,
hold up. Hey, someone's making accusations that I'm a Star Wars theory fan.
Oh God, those are fighting words around here.
Listen,
that's worse than calling out.
I like Star Wars theory. Like, I think he's a cool guy.
That's worse than calling out Matt's mom, which you did also do.
I also did that. Yes.
Hey, Jay.
What's up?
Can I post the stream on my Instagram account to get a couple people in the stream or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it, man.
All right.
Anyways, hey, Star Wars theory is cool. I really like his fan film, but I as much as I differ with Jay's opinions, it's the same way with Star Wars theory. I differ with a ton of his opinions too.
I thought his fan film sucked.
Yeah, same.
But I mean, I think he mostly seems like an okay person if we ignore his meltdown after JV Brick Fanatics comment.
Wait, what did he melt down to?
You just gotta watch it. You just gotta watch it.
Alright.
Put a link in Canteen or something.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a new low for sure.
Oh man! Or when we told him to go watch or listen to, if you guys tell me to listen to Murder on Anakin's Mind, I'm gonna
end the stream and blame the failure of episode 2 on you.
We literally donated like multiple. Oh man.
Hold on. Wait, Colt says, Jay, can you check your phone and share on stream what I sent you, please? It's very sad. Oh God, I'm afraid to look at this. Is it a text, Colt?
Does Colt have your phone number?
Colt does have my phone number.
Lucky. Oh wait, I have it too.
Oh no! His 7163 Republic gunship, like, fell. Dude, how did this happen?
Wait, Jedi Bob gunship?
Yes, the Jedi Bob gunship. Oh man.
Oh no!
Bro, why would you send me that? I wasn't
That's
ready.
your favorite set.
Dude. Oh. I wasn't expecting for Colt to send me snuff.
Bro, that's sad. Yeah, I
Put F's in chat. That's sad.
Jeez, Colt. It's alright. All this, when no one's ever really gone. Bro, his Republic gunship is doing its best Razor Crest impression.
It's so sad.
Alex Laidlaw says you're getting the new stuff on the 1st. If I can't find any of the other sets between now and then, yeah.
I'm not gonna get the Razor Crest because it blew up. I don't care anymore.
Oof.
I actually kind of want.
I mean, most things that are cool in Star Wars blow up, so.
I have a feeling that it's just gonna come back with no explanation, just like everything else.
It'll just be back, guys.
So, the Millennium Falcon's not cool?
Mando's gonna press the rewind button on his gauntlets and get the Razor Crest back.
Jay, do you ever see, specifically on social media, I guess, like, a girl that you would say is moderately attractive?
Oh, here we go. It's Jedi
like,
Bob time.
Hey, I haven't talked about girls in forever. Okay.
Anyways, go ahead, finish that.
So, like, you ever see a girl that you would say, wow, she's attractive, maybe even out of my league, and then you see a guy that you would assume is, like, below your league, you're like, wow, I'm better than him. Like, maybe not looks-wise, but personality-wise.
That's a pretty toxic opinion, Bob. Stop comparing yourself to others.
Well, I just saw someone, and I'm like, okay, how?
Maybe he's really good in bed. You don't know.
Whoa.
Whoa, Jay.
You mean taking naps?
I mean, yeah, like, what did you think
He's
I
a really
meant?
good sleeper.
He's a really good
Just like
sleeper.
Cole's three-way fight.
Girls won't.
I don't know, man.
Girls love
Sometimes
guys that are good at sleeping.
It just upsets
That
me.
it means he's well rested. What did you guys think I'm at?
Maybe.
You know what?
Yeah.
We're not even gonna go there. We're not even gonna go there.
Let's not.
Instant ban.
Someone's asking about Books a Million Girl. No, she got a restraining order against me.
Jedi Bob ruined his chances with Books a Million Girl by taking his new girlfriend to go see her.
Well, now old girlfriend.
Well, yeah, his new old girl. Would it be your new old girlfriend or your old new girlfriend? Yeah, it'd be your
My
old
new
new
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
See, that's what
Yeah.
that's what you get for trying to flex.
I was so confident. It was the one time in my life I had confidence, and then, well, whatever.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Yeah, oh crap! Dang it!
What happened?
I dropped the build off this table.
Oh no! That's what you get for dissing the show.
Alright, guys. I deserve that. Fortunately, it doesn't look like it's in too bad of shape.
That thing just went flying. Oh my god.
Sometimes I don't know my own strength.
Sometimes your strength is just
Bro,
too much.
I had a Star Wars theory strength moment.
Jay, can I ask, am I the only one who thinks that Mando's helmet print is slouched and it just doesn't look good?
It does not look great. I agree. I actually agree with that. I appreciate the fact that this helmet is shinier. That's good.
Yeah.
Skilled
You know on the
Cashew.
show...
Hold on one sec. Skilled Cashew says, Jay, I'm really depressing. Your streams and vids make me happy. I'm happy to hear that, man. Hopefully you work through your issues with depression, but I'm glad to be at least however significant or small a part of anything that helps. But go ahead, Star Wars.
You know in the show how he has like a piece of like metal like in between, like on his forehead. There's like a, I don't know how to like.
It's like,
What's the word I'm looking- Yeah, it's kind of like a weird small metal mohawk looking thing on it.
Yeah.
Like- Yeah. They should have print that on it, and it will look way better.
I think
Right
the
now it
reason
just
they
looks
wouldn't is because, like, I mean, Lego doesn't really do printing on the back of the helmet, like at the top. So they could it would probably stop in the middle of his helmet at the top. So I think maybe that's why they wouldn't do it.
Which would look more awkward.
Yeah.
They would probably
right now it's-
like.
I think they should just mold that in. Like, if they mold this, if they can mold the side earpieces, I think they could mold the top mohawk-looking thing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too different.
Yeah, it'll look like a Phase 1 clone trooper helmet.
I think at the end of the day, like, Mando just needs a different helmet mold because his helmet doesn't look like, you know, the Boba Fett style helmet.
Yeah, and Mandalorian armor can vary.
Exactly, yeah. But I think there's a long list of small helmet variations that Lego needs to make. Like, I think Phasma should have had her own helmet mold, and the tank trooper, the hover tank troopers definitely need their own helmet mold.
Oh, I love the hover tank troopers.
I love the design, but like they don't Lego just gave them a Scarif trooper helmet, and that's just not correct at all.
I'm sorry that I keep interrupting in between like sentences. I
No,
just
you're
don't
good,
know when
dude.
to talk.
No, you're fine. Thomas Hansen says, why Phasma? So Phasma's helmet, like, if you look at it and compare it to, like, a First Order Stormtrooper helmet,
Do that right now.
hers is more sharp on the edges. Like, it isn't as round and... It isn't nearly as round. Have you seen the Hero and Stunt Stormies? No, what even is that? The Shore Troopers are the ones that are wrong, actually. The Shore Trooper... You mean the Lego ones? The Lego Shore Troopers are pretty accurate. It's the Hover Tank Trooper that's wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Hurricane one has the wrong helmet mold.
Yeah. Says, why are you building a Mando set? I thought you hated Star Wars. I don't know if that's a joke comment, but that is really funny. Count Ravioli says Jay needs to read How Rich Boy Jay Stole Mandalorian. So I actually read part 1, and it was I enjoyed it a lot. That was one of the most creative things I think a person has made involving me.
Yeah, I love reading that. I was going to try to mention it sometime in the stream, but we were talking about other things.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, what's up, David? He says, Jay, you got this from Kohl's? I sure did. I'm still trying to hunt down some other sets, but I fortunately found this one. So hopefully I can get that X-Wing and TIE Fighter soon. That'd be nice.
Bro, Jay hates Mandalorian, hates Star Wars altogether. That's a fact. I don't like one thing. I hate everything.
Jay, I thought you hated Star Wars. I do still like Star Wars. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, like, there are definitely variations between stormtroopers in the film. But, like, the Scarab Trooper and Hover Tank Trooper, I don't know. I don't know. Like, obviously, the plan for those troopers wasn't for them to look different. It just kind of happened because, you know, they didn't have maybe an insane budget to, like, get good quality control with those. So, like, I don't think LEGO needs to try to replicate that with minifigs. But I do think that the Hover Tank Trooper, like, the design's so cool, it's deserving of, like, an accurate look.
Yeah.
He critiqued Star Wars out of care. Absolutely. Absolutely. Trevor says if they fix that helmet, they can give us the Juggernaut driver. Exactly. I wonder if LEGO did another, like, hover tank. I wonder if they'd give it the mold from the what are those things called? The range trooper. Yeah, I feel like that's closer.
Ah.
Jay, sorry, I wasn't able to watch last stream, so can I just ask quick, what was your thought on Luke coming to the final episode of Mando?
I mean, I think my exact words were it's a very Mandalorian thing to happen. Like, I guess I sum it up this way. So there's this video called Guide to the Last Jedi where the guy in the video talks about Luke from The Last Jedi, and, like, the complaint is, oh, like, why is he so grumpy? Like, why isn't he basically what we got in Mando? And he shows a video clip, and he's like, I guess people the fans wanted this version of Luke. And he puts, like, a picture of, like, Luke's face on Darth Vader from Rogue One, and he, like, made the lightsaber green, like, he put a filter over it to make it green. And in the video, it's, like, a funny moment, like, oh, haha, yeah, I guess that's what the fans would want. And, like, that is literally what happens in The Mandalorian. So it's funny how, like, what was at once, like, a joke, like, you know, like, maybe it's better to have a more nuanced Luke than, like a Jedi superhero Luke. Like, it's okay for him to be a little bit more grounded. And then it's like, nope, here you go. We'll give you that Darth Vader hallway scene, but with Luke. It's once again that like, trying to make the Luke we see on screen catch up with the Luke we built up in our fandom. So, like, I mean, it's just kind of, I feel like it's just a symptom of the bigger issue I have with Star Wars is, like, the overdone pandering to fans, which sounds bad. Like, yes, like, fans should be pandered to on some level, but, like, it doesn't have to be so blatant. And, like, it legitimately, it's like when I made my Rise of Skywalker video, the picture of that video, or the thumbnail rather, is like, oh, like, written and directed by Reddit, and, like, that's, like, the standard for Star Wars now. It's like fanboys are writing Star Wars now, which I think, I don't know, there needs to be a separation. There needs to be some restraint. There needs to be, like we don't have to just do, like, the most obvious fan-friendly thing. Like we can try new things. That's why, like, I can appreciate Luke from The Last Jedi, because it wasn't just the fan-friendly thing to do, but it was, like, deep, and it had a meaning, and I'm sorry, it had a meaning, and it seemed like, I don't know, just more. It was a level. It was a few levels above just like, oh, like this is the Luke you expected. Luke's a superhero. Let's just do that. Like, I don't know, like where's the creativity? I guess that's my point with all this. I don't know. I don't think there's anything creative. I don't think there's anything creative about that scene with Luke and Mando. It's like a 5-year-old could have told you that. Like, I don't know. I just there's nothing artful about it. It's so basic. I guess that's how I describe it. It's very basic.
Okay. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was. I loved it. I can't say I didn't.
And yeah, I mean, like, but that's why. I mean, and that's why they do it. Like, most fans will love a scene like that because, like, they do that because that's what the fans want. Like, yeah, like we want freaking Luke to come in, cutting people down. But I guess for me, like,
I'm back.
And this goes back to kind of my opinions on Vader and Star Wars as well. I think there just needs to be a separation of like what the fans want versus what makes sense in Star Wars. Like we hear like Yoda talk to Luke about, you know, what it meant to be a Jedi, and it just seems like Luke should be past that point where he's, you know, pulling out his little laser sword and going to town, so to speak. Like, that scene could have been so much more creative in so many different ways. Like, this man has the Force. Like, have him use it, you know? Like, have him, like, do something unique. Like, you just redid the Vader scene, but with Luke. Like, that's just so basic to me.
He did use the Force, but I get what you mean.
I mean,
like, in a creative way. Like, you know.
Rather than just smashing them, crushing them within stuff.
Yeah, like, that's just, I feel like that's just the most simple thing to do there. Like, oh, Luke's gonna, like, if you decide Luke's gonna show up, okay, what will Luke do? Oh, like, let's show, like, Luke going to town. Let's have him freaking wreck stuff. And that's not I guess, inherently a bad thing. It's just very simple. I think that's how I describe it.
Why can't you have just shown up and then grabbed Vader and that's it? Like, why do you have to save everybody? I didn't like that.
Because he's Luke freaking Skywalker!
Yeah.
Of course he has to.
No.
Blue Brick says, since Luke did the same thing Vader did, what's the difference between Jedi and Sith? And that's a point as well. Like, a Jedi uses their powers for knowledge and defense, never attack. Wars not make one great.
Fine. Doesn't matter.
But no, it's badass, so who cares? I don't know, I just feel like Jedi should be held to a different standard. And, like, The Last Jedi kind of went in that direction. But, like, everything else doesn't. Everything else is still trying to make Jedis the superheroes we imagined they were when we were, like, 10 years old. But, like, I feel like if you want to, I don't know, make Star Wars a little bit more complex and deep and, like, adhere to what Yoda told us about the Jedi, like, you could probably do something a little more interesting.
And they did in episode 8, and everyone hated it. And they're like,
right,
oh,
yeah. It's exactly, yeah. Like, you look at, like, Luke's, like, moment in episode 6, like, throwing away the lightsaber, not lashing out. But, like, I don't know, there's just, whatever. Who cares? And fans liked it, so, like, whatever. That's what we wanted.
That's why I'm so upset, because it's like, that's not what everybody wanted, and it's annoying that that's, like, the main consensus. It's like, oh, this is Star Wars, this is what we wanted, this is what we deserve. It's like, but it's not, though.
I feel like Star Wars should be written. Star Wars should be more than just what the fans want. Like, yeah. I would genuinely love to know, like, how George Lucas feels about all this, because for better or worse, like, George doesn't seem to have ever made his movies to make George didn't make Star Wars movies that quote unquote the fans wanted. George wasn't just pandering to people, which is why, like, I would really love to hear him speak honestly about, like, Star Wars now. Like, George, how do you feel about them just like taking all the crap you didn't really think about and like parading it out for fan reactions? Like, I don't know. I'd love to see how he felt about that.
Yeah, me too. He probably just doesn't care. It's like,
I mean, yeah, George is probably just like, whatever. Like, I got my money, I'm good. But like, assuming like he didn't, like, assuming George still cared about Star Wars and was like, oh, like, I want you guys to take care of this. Like, I would really love to know how he felt about this. Because, like, George Lucas would never have done... Like, George Lucas would never put Luke in a scene like that, you know? Like...
Yeah.
That seems to go against most things that George would do.
Like, with Yoda, he was like... I remember
that is true, yeah. That is true.
Like, oh, we've never seen him fight with a laser sword before, right? So, like, I don't know. Maybe
I like to think George still has more respect for, like, Luke Skywalker than Yoda. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thomas in CF7 says they can't satisfy every single fan. They did a good job of satisfying majority of the fans. That's all you can ask for. I mean, yeah, obviously, but like, it's still, I don't know. It's just still very simple. Like,
see, I feel like
it's like you can make like Star Wars could put out a movie tomorrow that's just like the biggest battle we've ever seen, and like things blow up everywhere, and there's like Republic gunships, and like it's like every like video game you've ever played all in one movie, and like, yeah, like people might get excited over it because, you know, like whatever, but like, I don't know, like that's still just so simple to me. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, like Disney. I think here's the thing. George Lucas like was like, oh, like we're gonna try Jar Jar. And, like, he did it. Like, George, like, went all in on Jar Jar. And, like, even after fans hated him, like, Jar Jar was still in those movies. And, like, it was even kind of a big part of Episode 3 for whatever reason. Like, he's, like, basically the reason the Empire happened. So that's kind of wild.
Jar Jar.
And Disney's, like, the opposite. Like, Disney... I think Disney's... I would say... Disney's very desperate at this point, I would say. Like,
yeah.
Like, putting Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian just screams desperation. Putting Boba Fett in The Mandalorian screams desperation. Like, they could have done all this stuff years ago. They could have freaking brought back Boba Fett and whatever. But they were like, oh, like, let's try to, like, recreate Star Wars. Let's give a new generation of kids, like, their own Star Wars memories, like their own unique Star Wars memories. Like, we'll make our new characters, and that'll be like the main story of Star Wars. And obviously, you know, people rejected that or whatever. So now it's like, okay, like, let's just make all these internet man children happy. And that's what Star Wars is.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm, like, more disappointed in the fandom than the actual, like, I guess, like, Dave Filoni, because it's just like, they're the ones telling everybody that this is what we want, and it's like, yeah, it's not.
The thing about it, though, is, like, I mean, it is what people want, and that's what, like, I think that's what's more depressing than anything. Like,
yeah, well, it's disappointing.
Star Wars is more positive than it's ever been, and, like, this is it. Like, celebrate, guys. I think I settle on... Oh, go ahead.
At least everyone's not hating it as much, and it's not as negative.
Sure.
I would prefer that, honestly.
I kind of agree. Like, I would take Disney, like, going... I'll take a swing and I'll take a... What's a good baseball analogy? I'll take a risky swing and a miss over, like, a safe swing and a hit, you know, like,
yeah,
like, at least I feel like at least, like, try to make, like, people, I guess people fell in love with Star Wars for whatever reason back in the day, so, like, I feel like the number one priority of Disney should be, like, how can we make something that people fall in love with again.
think
HoloNet
that the,
says,
secret-
wasn't the prequels a risk, swing, and a miss? I agree. And I would say, like, I'll take, like, that over, like, the direction Star Wars is going in now. That's what I feel like. That's something I never thought I'd imagine. I feel like at the end of the day, like, he said that's, like, the worst analogy I've ever heard. Okay, I'm not a baseball expert, but you get the point.
How about a wrestling analogy?
Where's Jedi Bob when we need him? Jay sounds like he's saying he'd rather get bad Star Wars than safe. I mean, but the risk doesn't have to be necessarily bad. Like, it could be bad, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
The original Star Wars movie was a risk.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
risk.
Like,
With Empire too. It was like a
Yeah.
big risk.
Like, A New Hope was like an awful experience for like everybody making it, but like nobody had hope for it, and then it was just like one of the most popular things, and everyone was like, alright, cool.
yeah, it just
it.
worked for some reason. Jay likes prequels over new Star Wars, confirmed. I feel like this is my character arc. All of this Disney Star Wars was constructed to make me love the prequels.
Dave Filoni did his job.
It's the fate of Anakin, guys.
What we don't know is George actually paid Disney to attempt to make worse Star Wars than the prequels so he could be beloved again. That's why all of this happened.
Is it actually?
Someone asked a good question. He says, Jay, what is the biggest criticism of the sequels you actually agree with? That's a good question. Let me weed out all the horrible criticisms.
Episode 9.
Yeah, I mean, episode 9, absolutely.
Well, like a general, like...
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, I sort of agree with this. I guess, like, the lack of... No, I was going to say I agree, but I don't agree. I was going to say the lack of, cohesive story or whatever. But, like, none of them had that. So, like, I feel like, no, never mind.
I would say episode 9, absolutely. Episode 7 and 8, I'm totally fine with. And I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. I mean, like none of the trilogies had a cohesive storyline all the way through. And, like, that's what people complain about a lot.
Yeah. People forget Luke and Leia are siblings.
Yeah. I guess.
Like, what if Rey and Finn were like siblings somehow? Like, that's like original trilogy level of like, oh, that's weird. And Finn's like, oh yeah, somehow I always knew we were related, Rey. But hey, YOLO.
I feel like my complaint would be that there's a lot of like, relations, like people are related to each other, and it creates this like expectancy of relation in the sequel trilogy. I feel like that would be my complaint, is the expectedness of everything to connect and everyone be related.
It's about family.
Star Wars is about family. My family.
No, that's Fast and Furious.
Star Wars is becoming Fast and the Furious.
Bro, we need a Vin Diesel cameo in Star Wars.
When Dave Filoni's like, oh, it's all about family. No, it's not. When was Star Wars ever about family? Like, give me anything.
It's about family because Luke and Vader are related, I guess.
Yeah.
But like,
Dude,
that's not what it was about.
I think
Like, it was
Carrie
about
Fisher who
like,
said that.
It's about family because Luke kissed his sister.
oof.
Yeah, dude.
It's about family in Alabama.
Here's some advice you should remember if you swipe a girl on Tinder and you meet that girl and kiss her. First, make sure she ain't your sister. Boyo Proverb 3:16. I'm still trying to think. I'll just go with like probably just the aesthetic of it all. Like the First Order didn't need to use stormtroopers. It's not a bad thing. It's not like it doesn't suck, but like it could have just been the First Order could have just had a different aesthetic. Like it didn't have to like harp so much on original trilogy nostalgia. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you think Finn should have been the protagonist instead of Rey?
Like, he should have been a stormtrooper who defected that ended up being force sensitive.
That's pretty much what
No, I'm just no.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh my god. A Rise of Skywalker is so like out of my brain that I'll say something that like is actually canon. Like one time I said, was it on the last stream where I like kind of offhandedly said that Boba Fett died, and everyone was like, hold up, let's not go too far now.
Episode 9 is tricked you, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, no, I like Rey a lot. I think Rey's story is better for a protagonist in Star Wars. Like the reliance on family and kind of coming to terms with. Oh God, I'm glad I wasn't pointing that towards my face. Yeah, but like a character kind of coming to terms with the fact that like your worth in the galaxy is ultimately going to depend on what kind of person you are and what you do. Like, I like that. Like, Luke always had the comfort of knowing, like, oh, my dad was freaking Darth Vader, so, like, clearly I have a very special place in this galaxy. Whereas Rey didn't really have that. Like, Rey wanted that. Like, Rey wanted to be a part of something, but she wasn't. So, like, the idea of, like... Because I like it because it's like every... It really pointed to the fact that the Force isn't hereditary. Like, it is for the Skywalkers. For whatever reason, it is with the Skywalkers. But, like, every other Jedi, that's not the case. So, like, how might they feel about their powers? Like, how might they kind of embrace the hero's journey? And that's what Rey's story was. Like, it was very unique and fresh in that way. Like, yeah, a Star Wars protagonist whose family matters but doesn't matter, you know? Like,
Jay,
I like that.
you made a mistake with the Skywalkers. It's actually the Hall Wreckers, because Rogue One and The Mandalorian has proved that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh man, I want to see
Hall Wrecker.
a TV show where Rey kills a bunch of people in the hallway. Then maybe people will start to like her more.
Oh, yeah.
Rey hallway scene.
Actually, no. People will be like, "Oh, she's even more of a Mary Sue. She can kill people in hallways now."
Yeah, people would be upset if Rey got that scene. Here comes Mary Sue Rey doing more stuff.
God, dude, Star Wars is so broken. I swear.
Yeah, Star Wars is pretty. That's how I describe Star Wars now. Broken. Who done broke it and need to be fixed.
Disney needs to patch it before it gets real bad.
Disney needs to kill it before it spreads.
That's why I'm kind of now looking forward to the Taika Waititi movie, because it's gonna be like, I don't know, it's gonna be like a Star Wars comedy, and at least that will be like fresh and new and exciting. So.
I feel like I want like new serious Star Wars before I want Star Wars comedy.
Yeah, I agree.
But like, it'll be something. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of like Star Wars mind Taika is, but like maybe he has a new, fresh, like good idea. Do you think Disney kind of false advertised making Finn look like the next Jedi? Yeah, but like I don't see why that's a problem. Like, I mean, it wasn't a very well kept secret if you like were looking into the movies, because like I saw it was a Duracell commercial where Rey used the Force, so it's like, oh, like clearly she's, you know, more than just Desert Girl.
Wait, really?
It was just I thought that was just like a weird, like they wanted you to be like surprised in the movie, which whatever. Like some people might have been. I didn't really care because I saw that Duracell commercial. But did I feel deceived? Not really. I mean, Finn was still a very important part of that movie. And, like, Finn was almost more interesting. Like, here's the thing. Finn was, like, the relatable one. And that's why I liked him. Like, Finn's like, no, screw this. Like, can I please just get away from the First Order? Which is probably how most people would react. Like there's... Like, heroism is very interesting because it's always a result of, like, a person doing, like, the right thing. A person doing the right thing a lot of the time. But, like, Finn was just like, okay, like, I've lived my whole life that I can remember serving the freaking First Order. So, yeah, like, how about I just go live a normal life. And he's cowardly because of it, but you also understand it. So I liked it because it made him more relatable than if he was the Jedi. So I had like no problem with that. Like,
a problem I had with Finn, like in The Force Awakens, was like when he was escaping it. He's like, because the reason because he tried to leave was because one of his friends who was a trooper died. He's like, oh, this is bad now, I'm leaving. So then when he escapes on the TIE fighter, he just guns down all of his fellow soldiers and like laughs about it. It's like, did you see that? That was great.
I think it was more out of fear, like, not that he was friends with the guy, it was more like, that guy just died right next to me, that could have been me. Like, I think that's more what it's like, instead of, oh no.
Yeah. I think also at that point he realizes, like, these guys are... He probably also just realized everyone around him was brainwashed. Like he was probably one of the few who, like, didn't just agree with what the First Order did. So, yeah, like, at that point, it's either you or me. So, like, who's it gonna be?
It was just odd to me because, like, we now know that they were all, like, taken as children because of, like, what Phasma said.
Right, yeah.
And he's like the first one in the line to leave and is like, oh, you're so happy about killing all these kids who were brainwashed? That's great. I'm not saying it's, like, awful, but it was just really weird to me.
I can see your point, but, I mean, Finn, I think it's easy to... I think at that point, Finn's character isn't contemplating, like, oh, like, I'm actively going against the First Order. But if you accept the fact that, like, yeah, these guys, like, think what the First Order is doing okay, then maybe, you know, like, why should I have any type of feelings about, you know, trying to get away from them when they're just doing their bidding, you know? Like, they're actually bad people.
The whole point was that they didn't choose to be in the First Order. I'm just taking from what I got that they said, basically, they were taken as children. So they didn't decide to join the First Order. They more so just were taken into the First Order.
I agree, but at the end of the day, you still have a choice. Like,
yeah,
they weren't, like, they weren't... They were taught by the First Order to feel a certain way, but like, like when you go out there and they ask you to slaughter this village, like, just because you're raised by the First Order doesn't mean you don't know that that's like a wrong thing to do. So like, they absolutely had that capacity. I mean, so I would say compare that to like the clones in Episode 3, where Yoda's just like, oh, Grease kind of sus right now. Let me freaking chop his head off. And those guys actually, like, legitimately had no choice. Like, I would say that, I feel like that's more so, like, the problem you're hinting at, as opposed to Finn. But, I mean, I think it goes all the way through Star Wars, because, like, not everyone on the Death Star was, like, you know, the staunch, evil Empire guy. Like, some people just were working a job, and, like, the Empire was the Empire, like, and, you know, they didn't really, maybe they actively went against the Empire, but, like, that was how they fed their family. Like, Luke says in Episode 4, he's like, I hate the Empire too, but there's nothing I can do right now, and, like, Luke wanted to go join the Academy, like, and basically fight for the Empire. So, yeah, like, I mean, are the Rebels... Like, are they wrong for getting excited about blowing up the Death Star? Like, it's like the irony, like, Luke, like, wanted to join the Academy, and, like, that could have been Luke on the Death Star, and he's the one who blows it up, so... I guess it could... That goes all the way through Star Wars. At the end of the day, like, okay, like, you pick a side, and it's like, okay, like, where do I go from this?
Yeah, because the Empire at the end of the day is still, like, in the wrong, even if the people that are with it, like, same with First Order, even the people, if it's against their will and they're still, like, complying to it, then they're still complying to something that's bad, so they're still, like, wrong.
Absolutely. I think it would have been very interesting to get some sort of plot point in the prequels where, like, do I spare these clone troopers because they legitimately have no choice? But, like, George didn't care about clone troopers, like, he was like, whatever, like... I think George heard the words Clone Wars in the original trilogy and was like, okay, so I guess we'll do something with that. So make clones, and they'll kind of look like stormtroopers, and that's the extent. And they'll end up killing the Jedis. Boom. Story's done. Moving forward.
Yeah. It's like George also didn't have the whole, the chip thing in their brain making them do it.
Yeah. They were just soldiers following orders.
Yeah.
That's why the chip thing is so wrong to me. Like,
yeah.
But whatever. I'm still not sure why I settle. Like, yeah, it's a good thing that the clones got more development and became actual characters because they're just more interesting that way. But it, like, defies so many things in the prequels where it's like, okay, like, do we care what George set up? No. Okay, like, if we do, then maybe this isn't so good. But, like, whatever. Alright, so I've got the set finished up. I'd say it's a pretty decent set. Like, the build is whatever. The what would you even call this thing? This big, like...
It's supposed to be intense for the Tusken Raider, I think.
No. I mean the weapon.
Well built.
The weapon.
That's
it's a ballista, right?
like a ballista, yeah, something like that.
I have the ballista.
There you go. So yeah, like this thing's kind of cool. I'm happy to have another Tusken Raider. That's always a positive. Beskar Mando is freaking awesome. I would probably, honestly, I kind of want a custom helmet for this guy. Like, everyone's saying it's a ballista. Is it wrong that, like, I'd never heard the word ballista before today?
What? Yes.
No, I don't know what it is.
Like, where could I possibly have, like, heard that word? Like, someone please explain to me where in your life did you learn?
Type of movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay.
That's those big things that shoot out a whole bunch of arrows.
Ah, okay, gotcha. HollowNet says, Jay, you want overrated characters. Who are underrated character besides Sidon, if they know? Underrated characters. Snoke. Snoke is at the top of my list for underrated characters. I feel like people act like the only thing he did in The Last Jedi was die. But, like, Snoke had maybe, like, a minute and a half less screen time than the Emperor in episode. I would say, yeah, altogether, like, he had, like, a minute and a half less screen time. So, like, we saw Snoke do a lot, and, like, I loved Snoke. The way he acted towards Kylo was perfect, in my opinion. I love the way he used the Force. Like, that was creative. Like Snoke's kind of like this larger than he's not larger than life, but he's huge. This huge decrepit dude, and he just kind of like uses the Force to move people around like chess pieces. Like, I just thought that was a really cool, unique thing for them to do with his character. I like it when characters have distinct things they do with the Force. Which is why Count Dooku using Force Lightning is just so upsetting to me. Because, like, it's like, George just had, like, no ideas for Dooku. Like, George just had nothing. Like, what are we gonna do with this character? Oh, he used to be a Jedi. Okay, like, that's something. So, like, how will that reflect in his character? Oh, not really, at all. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But give him Force Lightning, that's cool. Like, they could have let him do anything new or unique or like something that he might do. Like, whatever.
Because George got Christopher Lee, and he was like, "Oh, cool! We got a really great actor. I don't know what to do with you."
Count Dooku just should have been an actual vampire. That would have been interesting.
Yeah. I wish you had the crypto.
Jay, can we see Lego Grogu? Yeah, I got him right here.
I don't like the piece for Grogu at all.
I think it's okay. It's fine.
It's only a little bit inaccurate. I mean, the back is kind of weird.
That's the reason I don't like the back.
What's wrong with the
It
back?
looks really awkward.
It's
It looks like he has...
like weirdly squared off.
That's
Yeah,
like
it
how
looks
all the babies
square.
are.
Yeah, I don't like the baby piece either.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean.
I'm just not a fan of it. Like, the head sculpt's cool, but I wish, like, they made... I might be asking for too much, but I wish they made, like, Lego made something that would suit it better, because
I could
right
see
now
him.
it just looks...
I would say I could see them doing like a unique mold for Grogu with like that's like rounded at the bottom to kind of match
Yeah.
his like whatever the heck you call his clothes.
He's like a bag.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in like a sack. Man, it's so weird seeing all the new sets in the back of this instruction book.
Oh yeah.
It is weird that Poe and his like original episode 7 helmet is coming back. It's kind of cool. I'll be right back. My brother just rang the doorbell.
It's really weird to me about the
yeah.
you know how Luke's lightsaber's weirdly printed, like had a weird Photoshop mistake, like it's blue instead of green.
Yeah.
Blue.
Oh yeah.
That's really weird.
Yeah,
You
Luke's
don't get the non-printed
Luke's
rating.
lightsaber is blue on this picture.
Maybe the guy who made it was colorblind.
Oh really?
No, they're just
They do.
they're adhering to the original. Here's what happened. So the original reference material for Jedi had Luke with a blue lightsaber, and that they didn't change that until later in the movie. So whenever they were making the set, they were using the early reference material. It hadn't yet been changed.
Jay, the movie's been out since 1983. I think they had a lot of time to figure it out.
That was the joke.
Common knowledge.
That was the joke.
I know, but it's kind of odd to me. It's a really odd joke because
It's funny because that does actually happen, but obviously, like, that's not the case here. I don't know. I have no... there is no excuse for Luke's lightsaber to be blue on this. I'll say that.
Do you think they'll change it to green for future prints of the set?
I'd say it probably is. No, I mean, we don't know for a fact yet. Like, I would hope.
They
Like,
have changed things like halfway through the production of sets and stuff.
but that's the thing, though. Like, is this just an error with the picture, or is that like was the set ever constructed in such a way where Luke had a blue lightsaber in Episode 6?
Maybe they got too used to making the farm boy Luke.
Yeah. And yeah, his gloved hand is also on the wrong side. Trevor says keep it blue. That actually would be funny. I would tell them keep it blue just for the memes.
Wait, Jake, do you have two of the sets?
Yeah, so I got one for me, and one of my coworkers wanted it, so he's gonna probably buy it off me. Speaking of which, so I could see people actually getting multiples of this set because of the Tusken Raider and the Ballista. Learned that word today. Because we see like a few of these in the show,
Yeah.
and like it's a cheap way. And if you want like a Tusken Raider village, or if you want to make this a full hut, you could get two and close this off. So I can actually see people getting multiples of this set, and I'm sure people like, I don't know, like Beskar Mando's cool. You might want two of those just because.
And people who haven't gotten the child yet could get them in a cheap set.
That too. You can make a family of children. Well, what if we find out Grogu has like a brother or sister? That would be awesome.
Yogurt is gonna be the name of his brother.
Yogurt.
I don't really think I need any more Tusken Raiders. I have like 5 already.
Bro, I honestly,
I've 0.
the only reason I need a lot of Tusken Raiders is for my eventual pod race mock. I wonder, like, why is it okay for them to just camp out and shoot at the racers? Like,
Target practice.
like that's just such a like a random thing. Like, I don't like that. Like, you would think the people who sanction the race would be like, stop shooting at our racers, guys.
Yeah, like,
It's a hunting
pick
ground.
'em out.
Trevor says this
They didn't
one has a new print. I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at this Tusken Raider. Where was the nearest? Oh, I have one sitting right here. Perfect. Shout out to Starkiller. Yeah, this is a different print than the one that was in that set. That actually, okay. Is this one unique to this set? If so, I mean, I'm sure it is.
I think it's the one in the Obi-Wan's hard set.
Well, say that one more time.
I think it's the same one as the one in the Obi-Wan's hard set.
Ah, here, let's do some Googles. Obi-Wan's hut. This one basically has one bandolier.
The same. I have mine next to the picture of the box, and it looks.
Yeah, this is the same as the one from Obi-Wan's hut. I didn't even realize that like they've made a new one. That's actually really cool. I didn't realize that there are variations of this guy.
An older one that I have that I got from, I believe, the T16 from, I think, 2015 or something, has a different print.
Different than either of these?
Like the newer one. Yeah, it's different.
Is it the X bandolier?
Yeah, it's the X one.
Okay, so that's the one I have here. So I'm guessing, basically, there's only two variations of these, I'm assuming.
Two variations of the newer one, because there's like an original torso from 2002.
Well, yeah. Jay, why does Luke have a darker hilt in the tauntaun? Wait, what? I need to actually look at these sets. It's gonna be weird, like, waiting a month for the rest of this wave to come out.
Don't they come out in March?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I thought February, but maybe March.
I know the Imperial Shuttle comes out in March.
I would assume everything else is March as well.
Then I would assume it's the rest for the sets.
I can't tell if
And
Luke's
then,
hilt is
I know
darker.
Falcon, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and the Mando set come out in January.
I can't wait till the next battle pack comes out.
Oh,
Whoops.
Hopefully it will one day.
Have fun waiting for that.
Yeah.
Ryan done goof.
Surely they can't be done just producing battle packs entirely.
You say that. I mean, I said earlier this year, I said surely they couldn't do an entire wave of just helmet and some note playsets.
I mean, technically they did not, because that wave also included the Dio set.
Dio's not a playset.
Oh, you said helmets or playsets,
right?
I said all helmets and no playsets.
Oh, okay. Sorry, misunderstood.
Jay, do you think Lego will ever make Dark Troopers, and if so, do you think they'll be like B1 battle droids or builds or minifigs? Honestly, don't even know what the Dark Troopers look like, so
No,
I'm not
it'd be
gonna
more
answer.
like K2S, so I would imagine that kind of look.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Kind of more taller.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack for the Dark Troopers.
Oh,
Dubstep.
the dubstep.
Yeah, you can find it on Spotify. It's just labeled Troopers.
Troopers.
Dude, I remember laughing when that happened. I was like, I never imagined to hear dubstep in Star Wars. That was the first.
It reminds me of this game I played. It was called Electric Man 2. It was like this stick figure guy with like an aurora or something like that around him, and he just beat up people. And there was this one level where there was these two people with armor on, and it had this like mechanical type beat. It was pretty.
Raise the roof.
It was pretty nostalgic to hear it because it kind of reminded me of that.
So I'm looking at the picture of the 4+ X-Wing that's going to be coming out. And the way that BB-8 sits on the back is so silly. Like, he doesn't sit in anything. Like, he's not surrounded by anything. Like, there's just, like, a thing. Like, he's just sitting, like, right. I don't know how I can explain it. If you guys can see. I don't know if you can even see. But, like, that's just him just sitting, like, on the top of the ship. Like, there's nothing around him. There's just, like, a stud that he just sits on. Like, it just looks so ridiculous to me. I hope the shuttle has a door on the back. for no other reason than that I want to recreate the scene from Lego Star Wars when Luke's like talking to Vader, and then he goes and gets in the shuttle, and then the door goes up and Vader slides into the shuttle. That's honestly probably one of the. I think that's the funniest moment from Lego Star Wars. What are you guys' funniest moments from the Lego Star Wars game?
Like the complete saga, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, either of the original three.
Right. I'd say the one where Luke is like, about to grab the lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, and then the other guy catches it, and he's like, "Hey, can I have that?" Like, real.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot that happened. Thomas Hansen says, "When Qui-Gon dies." Jeez.
The X's on his eyes are funny.
The X's on his eyes are pretty top tier.
Bro, it's Lego
like
Post Malone.
Dead, apparently.
Isn't there a scene when Leia's like, like making fun of Vader talking?
Yeah. I remember that.
I put that up there.
Playing that on the PS2.
Oh, I know what mine was. When Anakin, when Darth Vader was playing, that he was Luke's father.
Oh yeah, and he shows him the picture.
That was so good.
I'm gonna go with the scene from the Lego Clone Wars game. It's the Blue Shadow Virus episode, and there's like this clone trooper, and like he pretends to die because of like the virus that's like around him, and like he just passes out, and then like he just comes back after a minute or two, and then like everyone just abandons him because he pretends death.
Oh, like no one cared.
Yeah.
That made no sense to me. When I first played it.
WMBO says, "I'm a simple man. I'm Chewbacca stormtrooper kind of guy." Chewbacca jumping on the stormtroopers and popping their armors off was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, the way he wore the helmet in that game was amazing.
Yeah.
The door.
It was so funny I had to put it in my Vardo smock. I feel like that's an Easter egg that people often forget about. That Chewbacca and Vardos, like, trying to get into the Imperial door. Says the noise it makes is so satisfying. I agree. That.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is that when he pops off the arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is a good funny moment from that game. I always loved whenever the two guys in the Republic cruiser get shot at, and then they're just kind of floating in the air, and then
they look at each other.
Yeah. I honestly would love to talk to like the creators of that game, and I want them to explain to me why Obi-Wan's the comic relief in like the first episode. He's like silly, and like there's the scene where they they jump off the bridge, and he's like can't get his lightsaber on, and then when he finally gets it on, like everyone's done fighting.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact: Lego Star Wars is the only piece of media that Chewbacca has ripping arms. He ripped off arms in Solo, didn't he? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just like misremembering that. That actually happened, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he did.
I only
It
saw
was
Solo
on
once.
Castle.
Yeah, you don't remember? He like rips off. I mean, you don't see it, but like you hear like arms rip off, and like he's like holding them after the fact.
Oh, yeah.
He also rips off Unkar's arm in a deleted scene in Force Awakens.
Oh.
He says Kessel guards. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. There you go.
Yeah, of course they have it in Solo, because all the things that, like, get mentioned about Han Solo and Chewbacca have to be in that movie.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, absolutely. That is weird that happened in that movie. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you forget that actually happened.
Mm-hmm. There's just so much that's packed into that movie.
Trying to think. Other Lego Star Wars funny moments.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I always love the scene when you're fighting with Anakin and Obi-Wan on Mustafar, and when they walk outside the door, and Obi-Wan like takes his lightsaber and like stabs Anakin in the butt, and he like flies off the stage. Like it's just so cartoony and amazing.
The entire episode is so funny because like you're supposed to play with like both characters for co-op, but then like in the cutscenes and stuff, they're facing off against each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we need to work together to make sure this room doesn't collapse on us. But like we're gonna be like fighting each other in the next minute. Oh, I know what's a funny scene. There's a scene where like the droids are talking to each other, and you know like he does like a robot walk, and then all the main characters land on the droids, and like one of their arms is like sticking up, and then it falls down, and then someone walks past them and like kicks them, and then the arm goes back up, and then it falls back down. I feel like that's one of those things where I explain it, and if you haven't seen it, you're just like, what the heck is he talking about? But I swear it was very funny when it happened. Does Obi-Wan have a health bar if you play with two people? Yeah, he does. But no matter who dies, like, it's like the ending is still the same. So like if you have Anakin, like if you're playing as Anakin and your buddy's playing as Obi-Wan, and you end up getting your buddy's health all the way down, like the end video is still the exact same way.
Well, they kind of change it like at the beginning, but then it ultimately at the end.
How does it change at the beginning?
Oh, like he beats Obi-Wan for like a second, like tripping Obi-Wan, then Obi-Wan jumps up again and then beats him.
Oh, really? I never realized it was different at all. I have to go back and play that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a thing about it. It was, it's really cool.
I was thinking of the complete saga. Yeah, you still have to finish the walkthrough.
I know. It's so funny. Cena was actually in town the other day, and we were going to get together and film some more, but I had some things come up. But, like, he should be home for Christmas break, so we'll probably do some more Lego Star Wars action. I know you guys. I know that's what you guys have been waiting for.
I can't find the chapter 6 of episode 4 game playthrough. I don't know why. Like it goes all the way up to episode chapter 5 of episode 4, but 6 goes to episode 5.
Lego. Hold on. I'm pretty sure we definitely did that. The Death Star one.
Yeah, I do remember you playing that.
Yeah, that was with that really great joke. I can't even remember it anymore, but there's a...
Oh yeah! Lego Star Wars, Rich Boy J, Death Star.
Oh yeah, no, you posted on your Instagram, Jay.
I sure did. Alright, I just Googled it on YouTube. I definitely uploaded that video.
No, it definitely exists, yeah.
Did I accidentally take it down? And maybe it got copyright stricken. Not copyright stricken, but basically like I made an R-rated joke, so they took it down. Okay, now I gotta find where the heck this video is. Let's go to content.
Like, did you not know that it was up? I thought you just
I mean, yeah, no, like I definitely uploaded it.
Also, your playlist.
Wait, I hear that.
You found it?
For all the
Yeah, episode 4, chapter 6, Rebel Attack. Right? That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's on the channel.
Okay, thank God.
It's just not in the playlist I found.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, here I'll add it to the playlist right now. Although
as well as your Lego minifig collecting series, a lot of episodes are missing from the playlist as well.
Yeah, that one I just straight up abandoned that playlist like a while ago. At this point, I don't even know if it's worth it to try to add them back in. Rogan Daniels asks, favorite cartoon as a kid, guys. I mean, I know what most of you guys' answer is going to be.
Clown. Your answer should be the same thing.
Oh, of course, Batman, Jedi Bob's here for this. I mean, the Clone Wars
I
cartoon
watched-
didn't come out when I was a kid, so I literally
Yeah.
just could not say
It
it.
has
that.
to be either Fanboy and Chum Chum or Clarence.
That sounds fanboy
Wait,
and
wait.
Chum Chum.
Are you being
Fanboy
for real?
Chum Chum was my least favorite show.
Are you being for real?
Yeah.
Bro,
I love
I've not seen this in so
Oh,
long.
boy.
I vehemently detest that show.
I agree. You know they turned that down for Adventure, or they turned Adventure Time down for Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Bro, why you hating on
what?
fanboy and Chum
It
Chum?
was
Wow.
a good idea.
The dumbest. And also, everyone's answer should be SpongeBob.
Yeah, I feel like
Bro,
for me it's either SpongeBob or
The
Tom and,
Simpsons.
or Ed, Ed and Eddie or Tom and Jerry.
Oh man,
Tom and Jerry's great.
don't cancel me, but I haven't seen any of those.
Bro, how have you not seen Ed, Ed and Eddie? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Alex McBrick, you're Canadian. Have you watched
Yeah.
16?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Funny
Oh
one,
my
Magic
God.
Man.
Dude, 16 is amazing.
Man, I didn't watch like any of those kind of shows when I was a kid. I don't know.
You didn't watch cartoons?
You know watch Total Drama Island?
No, see, I didn't
Total
watch.
Drama Island
Hero
Wow.
101.
16 has the same producer.
Total Drama Island was made by the people who made 16.
Yeah, they have
Dude,
the
they
16
used to-
reference.
They used to be so cool because back then, especially Total Drama Island, it was a very, especially the uncensored versions, those were very, like, edgy kids cartoons. Like, they were awesome.
I think in Canada they didn't censor some parts out.
They didn't. No, the Canadian versions, they would say crap, they'd bleep out words, they would do a lot of stuff. Honestly, it wasn't even a kid's show. It was more of, like, 13 to, like, 15-year-olds probably should be watching it.
I think the Rainforest was TV PG, so it wasn't really meant to be for kids, like young kids.
It was Simpsons rated, yeah. I mean, regular show and Adventure Time were also TV PG. That's why I love Cartoon Network, bro. They're so cool.
Canada's
Now look at
Then we
them
got
these
Teen
days.
Titans Go.
Oh, that's true.
Bro, 16 is the GOAT cartoon.
I remember only seeing like one episode of 16. It was where they all became like zombies.
Yeah, that was like the Halloween episode.
I know one episode we all missed of 16.
What?
It was the band episode.
What do you mean the band episode?
Oh.
What were the
What episode got banned?
It was an episode about periods and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so I thought you meant like it was an episode about band. And I was
That's what I
like,
thought he meant at
what?
first, but then I realized what he meant.
Yeah, I mean that episode too. That's my favorite episode.
The best SpongeBob episode is about bands. It's called Band Geeks.
Yeah, Band Geeks is good, but some of my
Band
favorite
Geeks is the
episodes-
best episode.
Rock Bottom is a great episode.
It's still not as good as Band Geeks.
No. I'm just saying like some of the best episodes.
Sponge Gar episode is my favorite.
So that episode's good.
It's called like
I remember when that episode first came out when I was younger. Like, it was like a big deal. Like, they were showing
SpongeBob
commercials for
BC
it.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Thomas Hansen says, "What in the blue blazes is bro? Go watch 16 right now. It's the best cartoon ever."
I haven't heard of it either.
Rock Bottom is a great episode though, where like that's like the season 1 episode too.
Yeah.
And also Chocolate with Nuts and Wet Painters and I, Robot or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Wet Robots. Oh, that. Oh wait, what did I just say?
With
Wait,
Will
is it-
Smith.
Wait, was it wait?
The robot episode, yeah.
Yeah, where they
I like
talk
the
about-
robot.
Oh, when they think Mr. Krabs is a robot.
What is he says? They pooped on the robots.
He said, "We got to get the poop on the robot. You want us to poop on the robot?"
And they keep
No.
telling Mr. Krabs to like shut up. They're just like shut
Shut
up.
up. He's like, yeah.
You have to ask him a question before you slap him. He's like, oh, what color's my underwear? He slaps him.
Hey, what's up, Techno? He says, "Yo, Jay, it took you this long to get the Mandalorian Battle Pack. I'm sorry, bro."
Okay, another underrated episode in my opinion is the episode where Mr. Krabs gets a robot and Plankton's the robot, and then at the end of it, the hand's trying to eat Mr. Krabs.
Oh yeah.
that show is so perfect.
Remember whenever
Band Geeks is still the funniest. I feel like Band Geeks is all like the most memorable SpongeBob jokes. Like when the flag twirlers are twirling and they fly up and hit the blimp and it explodes, and then the guys with the trumpets are like doo 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 doo. Oh my god, bro! SpongeBob predicted Star Wars Rebels.
Jay, did you know that the creator of SpongeBob died a couple years ago?
I did.
yeah.
Rest in peace.
Steven Hillenburg. Steven Hillenburg.
I actually saw Tom Kenny at a convention. He was at this convention called Comic Palooza. The same place where I met that shore trooper that I got a picture with. King Dibby says, Jay, what's up with that Pose X-Wing back there? So, when I'm working on the trenches right now, and I was using this as kind of a size reference to make sure this all works out.
You hate that build, don't you, Jay?
Starkiller or the X-Wing?
The X-Wing.
I love this set. This orange one?
I thought you said you hated it on the stream.
Yeah, the 2020 X-Wing's really good. I have it.
No, dude, I love this set. I must have been talking about something else because I love this set. This is by far the best Lego X-Wing.
I thought you said it was about that set. I must have misheard something on this one.
I don't know what I might have been talking about, but no, this set is GOAT tier. Rogan Daniel says, Rugrats and SpongeBob were my childhood. I agree. Rugrats was amazing.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, even though this show, I didn't grow up with it, I watched it after the fact, with Teen Titans.
The original?
I remember Teen Titans.
The original. I rewatched it when I was like 10, and I thought it was the best thing in existence.
Batman the Animated Series was the one I watched a lot. Rerun.
Batman?
Yeah.
That's a great show too, yeah. That was dark for a kid's show too. Like, they use guns and stuff, and it's like, whoa.
One of the, my favorite episodes of that, show was the, episode about, like, I don't remember, like, what her name was. It was, like, about, like, a girl who couldn't age, really.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was, like, a dark episode at the end.
Speaking of SpongeBob, shout out to Wormy in the chat. That was also a great episode when, like, the Wormy turned into a butterfly, and they were like...
And the close-ups of it is terrifying, dude.
It's very terrifying.
It scared me as a kid.
SpongeBob was scary.
Trevor says that set is great. I enjoyed it for the 2 days I had it build. Wow.
What happened? Broke it.
He had other plans for it. 1 and 2. Oh, I feel like this needs to be much wider than it is.
You know, a show that I grew up with that's stupid, but I still sort of like, is Drake and Josh.
Fanboy and Chum Chum?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Bro, Jake and Josh was amazing.
Yeah, it was like the only good live-action kids sitcom. Like, it was the only one that I ever found that I was like, okay, this is like, I don't know, part of it, like, there was sort of like, the characters didn't feel so fake to me. Like, Drake and Josh felt very, like, real teenagers.
It was pretty grounded, yeah. Well, I mean, there was still some ridiculous stuff, but, like, I get what you mean.
No, but the characters of Drake and Josh, like, I feel like in all these live-action shows, it's just ridiculous, like, all the characters. But, like, Drake and Josh were just kind of realistic teenagers in a way, especially for the mid-2000s, in the sense, like, they just wanted realistic teenager things. They wanted to, quote-unquote, make out with girls, which I guess is kind of, like, indication for something else now, but...
I think they were actually making out.
No, I mean, yeah, but they wanted girls, they wanted money, and they wanted they just wanted teenager things. And I was like, that's cool. Like, as a rewatching that, I was like, I get that, you know?
Did you watch Victorious?
I know now.
Did I watch what?
Victorious.
Sorry, I just barfed everywhere.
Wow, what a guy.
iCarly, Victorious, none of it. iCarly was okay. I watched it, and
I'll take Victorious over iCarly.
No, Victorious sucks. Okay.
How does Victorious suck?
It is a garbage show. Garbo.
Okay.
Who remembers the iCarly episode where Bigfoot was in it?
What?
I feel like
Oh my god, yes, Big Time Rush. Oh my god.
why
That
were you
shit.
watching? You were like 20 when these shows came out.
No, I would. Dude, how old do you think I am?
You were in high school at least.
When Big Time Rush came out? No, I was in middle school.
Yes.
When did Big Time Rush come out?
Not know Jay's age. It's literally in his intro.
Exactly.
I know Jay's age.
I'm
I'm
at
just
25.
Let's look up Big Time Rush.
Oh, that took a while.
the creepy puppet boy is basically Jedi Bob. I would say, I guess so. Not really.
Okay, I was in high school. It started in 2009. So yeah, I would have been a freshman in high school.
Why were you watching Big Time Rush in high school?
Bro, Big Time Rush went hard. I don't even care. Big Time Rush went hard.
No, Big Time Rush was maybe slightly better than Victorious or iCarly.
I love That's So Raven. That's So Raven, one of my favorite shows when I was
Oh
younger.
god. Were you one of the kids that liked the Disney live action shows?
What's hold on? What do you mean? Like Nickelodeon live action shows were so much superior?
They were.
No, they
Listen,
were not.
Disney is on another level of horrible.
No,
like, it is
no,
garbage.
they were not.
There are some pretty bad live action shows on there.
If I have to go back and take you to Good Luck Charlie...
Oh, hold on. Ned's Declassified was the GOAT live action show. Don't at me.
Oh, that was fine. That was a good show.
Ned's Declassified was... I put Ned's Declassified over Drake and Josh. And I love Drake and
How
Josh.
about Zack and Cody?
Zack and Cody I didn't like when I was younger.
Well, like...
Just putting two characters' names together and saying, hey, here's a show.
Drake and Josh, Zack and Cody. What other
Listen.
shows are like that? Oh, Fanboy and Chum Chum.
No offense to those, but Disney had horrible live action shows. Like, horrendous.
Bro, you didn't like Lizzie McGuire?
Bleach my eyes.
Bro, Boy
Horrible.
Meets... Hold on. Boy Meets World?
No, none of that. All that sucks.
Dude, oh, okay. Yeah, no, don't talk.
First of all,
Dude,
Disney...
Boy Meets World is like a classic. Like,
Disney pissed me off as a kid because I was an angry little kid. Who could have imagined? I would always get annoyed because they just wouldn't be allowed to say or do anything. Like, say what you will about Nickelodeon, at least you could probably, like, say shut up and stupid and stuff. But, like, I remember on Disney, they, like, wouldn't allow anything.
the one thing that annoyed me when I was younger was Toys R Us had so much toilet humor. Like, I couldn't stand that about them. That's a Toys R
About
Us.
what?
Nickelodeon had so much toilet humor. Like,
Yeah.
that always annoyed me. Like, their big thing was slime. Like, oh my god, this person's gonna get slimed. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
What the heck?
like
That's why I like
Nickelodeon
SpongeBob.
was very much so more immature than Disney. Disney
That's
had
not-
class.
Listen, Cartoon Network is where the real men hung out. You know, that's where the real
I
men...
agree with Bob on that.
The real men hung out watching Clone Wars on Cartoon Network.
Bro, because meanwhile, pathetic little Disney and Nickelodeon over there wouldn't be allowed to say or do anything. Meanwhile, Cartoon Network, they're saying, like, piss on live children's television.
Cartoon Network.
What is
has
hold on?
words
What
on-
is up with you and wanting to hear swear words in cartoons? Like, that is such
Because
a
as a kid, I love the idea of, like, doing and saying
like,
more.
bro.
I mean, I
Go
love
go
that
watch an
idea now.
R-rated movie for Christ's sake. Like, jeez,
But, like, I mean, if you...
bro, this cartoon sucks. They don't even say piss. Like,
No.
come on.
Like, I liked the Nickelodeon's cartoon. Well, their one cartoon by the mid 2000s. At that point, I mean, they had Fairly Odd Parents. I loved as a kid. I loved
Invader
SpongeBob.
Zim was pretty good.
Jimmy Neutron's overrated.
Bro, Jimmy Neutron is are you, bro? Leave right now. Leave right now.
No.
Bro, Jimmy Neutron was amazing.
Overrated. I liked it, but it's overrated.
Jimmy Neutron was so good, dude.
I know.
Fairly Odd Parents is better.
Kim Possible was amazing. Proud
Oh,
Family
that's
was
a
amazing.
good.
Hey, who here has ever heard of the show Peanut and Pickle?
What?
Oh god, I've heard of that.
I have no idea what that Peanut and
There's
Pickle.
like a pickle and a
It's one of the
peanut, and they're
worst
apparently
shows
brothers or
ever.
something.
I don't know.
Aren't they like brothers?
Brendan
I don't
Cornwall
know.
says
I
Carl
don't know what
Weezer is
happened.
sexy. Changed my mind. I agree.
I don't know what happened to cartoons, but like after like
Oh, you're gonna be
I feel
that
like after the
guy.
year like 2010,
You're gonna be that
like,
guy.
exception of maybe Adventure Time and like regular show, like I feel like a lot of shows, like cartoons, just got really weird. Fanboy and Chum Chum, like God.
Bro, Fanboy and Chum Chum was
why?
awesome.
Yeah, that thing is so weird.
And like Sanjay and Craig, like who are coming up with these ideas? These
Wait,
suck.
what is Sanjay and... I actually have no idea what that is.
You don't know what
I haven't heard of
Can I
that.
explain to you what Sanjay and Craig is?
What the heck
Yeah,
is
go for
Sanjay
it.
and Craig? That doesn't even sound like a real show.
I'll tell you about one of the episodes they made. It's one of them is about a fart in a jar, and at the it's that's all it's about. One of the episodes.
It's just a bunch of fart jokes. That's literally all it is. It's a guy and his snake and fart jokes. That is the whole entire plot of the show.
It's called Sanjay and Craig.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like, Nickelodeon has almost no good shows at this point. The Loud House, I've seen a few things of, and I was like, it looks alright.
What the heck is this?
Sanjay and Craig.
But literally, the only good show on Nickelodeon, literally, is SpongeBob. That is, in modern SpongeBob, as much as a lot of people... I mean, no, but it's still way better about
Sanjay and Craig.
Jay, you have to look up Pickle and Peanut.
Don't look up Pickle and
That doesn't even
Breadwinners. Like, what is Breadwinners?
Breadwinners, no.
Pickle.
They're just also stupid.
and
Disney
Peanut.
wised up, and they got a couple good shows under
Bro.
their belt. They got Gravity Falls, of course, which is perfect.
Pickle and
They had
Peanut looks
Starburst.
so cursed. Oh my god.
I know it is.
Star versus the Forces of Evils, I've heard really good.
I watched
I've
a
seen
few
a few
episodes.
episodes.
I wasn't into it.
I wasn't into it
Yo,
either,
I
but
love...
I've heard
Shout out to
it.
Camp Laszlo. Camp Laszlo is good.
Oh, I love Camp Laszlo.
That was a good show.
Sanjay and Craig.
There's this
Oh my
other show
gosh.
that's like on Cartoon Network now. I don't know if it still is, but I know a few months ago it was. It was called like Apple and Onion or something.
What is up with
Oh,
these
yeah,
dumb names?
They just get two food.
I wanna make a new show, guys. It's gonna be called Football,
David Favreau.
Football,
David
and
Favreau.
it's gonna be called
Football and wrestling.
Football, and Napkin.
That's something Nickelodeon put out, though. That's the sad thing. Nickelodeon's just so garbage now.
Bro, Nickelodeon's so garbage. They don't even say piss.
No, like, I
Just
show
he
it to
wised
my-
up and said this.
I show my little brother the target demographic, these shows, and he's like, Brendan, what are you showing me? These are the worst things in the world. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I just wanted to see if I was crazy. And he's like, no, these things suck.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
shout out to Wonder Pets. Wonder Pets was dope.
Wonder Pets was the go.
Yes.
Dude, I will tell you what though. I guarantee this new generation coming up, their SpongeBob is gonna be the Amazing World of Gumball.
Is that I don't
Amazing World of Gumball.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a great thing.
Amazing World of Gumball is amazing.
Yeah, it's like the modern SpongeBob. It's really funny actually.
It finished this year though.
Yeah, I know. They
may be making a movie.
the Amazing World of Gumball was really good. Also, We Bare Bears. That's underrated.
I feel so old
Bears.
listening to all these cartoons. Yeah, Samurai Jack was good. Dexter's Lab was great.
It was made by Gandhi, the person who made that 2002.
Yeah, Gandhi Tartakovsky. Yep.
And he also made Hotel Transylvania.
Yo, shout out to
The
Wow
guy
Wow
who made Samurai
Wubsy.
Jack.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Didn't that
Wow
guy
Wow
make
Wubsy.
Primal?
Do you guys remember the show Code Lyoko?
No.
Shout out to anyone in the chat who remembers Code Lyoko. I always thought, it's like, when that show came out, I was like, wow, the characters look so weird. And then we have what's it called? Like Big Mouth now, where like all the characters look horrible. Like,
wait, it was what? What was it called?
Code Lyoko.
That
Big
was
Mouth
weird.
bad.
Yeah, Big Mouth is not Bedford.
With their foreheads.
Yeah, exactly. They had very big foreheads.
They actually look like they have brain tumors.
But
Yo, Totally Spies was amazing. Hey, shout out to Alex McBrick for the 5 Canadian dono. He says, had to go eat dinner, but figured I'd send dono first. Great stream as always. Thanks for having me on. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Alex McBrick. What a boyo. King Bibby says, Big Mouth was great, at least the first 2 seasons. I mean, I like Big Mouth. I haven't watched the most recent season, but I like it.
Ew, really? It looks like toilet humor to me.
Big Mouth is not. I mean, there's some, like, raunchy humor, but it's not just toilet humor. Did you guys ever watch the show called... Did you guys ever watch Unfabulous?
South Park is way better.
South Park's great.
Did you guys watch Unfabulous?
No.
What's her name? Emma... Okay, there's Emma Stone, Emma Watson. Who's the other Emma?
Who?
Who's the other famous Emma? There's not Emma Stone and not Emma Watson. There's the other famous Emma.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Emma Roberts. That's who it is. Emma Roberts is an Unfabulous, and it's a good show. Robert Garrity says Star Wars Resistance. Am I one of the few who liked it? I like Resistance. Resistance is probably my favorite Star Wars cartoon.
Oh my god.
Really?
No,
Why can't Resistance... Hold on. Why can't Resistance be my favorite Star Wars cartoon?
I never.
Because it just can't. You're not allowed to have that opinion.
Okay. Alright. Okay, prequel fans. Okay, prequel fans.
I'm not a prequel fan. I'm not a prequel fan, Jay.
That was more so directed at Jedi Bob.
What? I'm not a prequel. You don't know me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a prequel fan. I love the sequels. Last Jedi for life, yo.
Nah, bro. I mean... I don't know, dude. I like Resistance. Good show.
You like Katsuda the Ono?
I've only got through the first season of Resistance.
Finish it. Yeah, the story's good.
I might do that right now.
I felt Resistance is just the only Star Wars cartoon to me that, like, doesn't do too much. Like, it's very aware of its place in Star Wars, and I think it does that very well.
Kazuda Ziono is a very annoying protagonist.
I like Kaz. When Kaz's parents...
You really like Kaz?
When Kaz's thought his parents died, I felt that.
Oh my god.
When Starkiller Blaze blew up all those planets, I felt that in that show.
Exactly.
More so than The Force Awakens.
The animation style on the show's so weird.
Yeah.
See, I love the animation style. Like, there are some just straight up beautiful shots in
I don't
Resistance.
I don't hate that. Oh, that reminds me of another show I watched. Iron Man: The Armored Avenger. That is the best theme song.
Did any of you guys watch Spectacular Spider-Man?
No.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Dude, that is the best Spider-Man cartoon they ever made. Like, it did such a good job showing, like, Peter Parker, and, oh, it's so perfect.
I think it's the best interpretation of them.
I don't think so, and I hope to God not.
Honestly, the best thing I've ever seen in a cartoon is the Fairly OddParents episode where Timmy goes into, like, his television, and they, like, spoof a bunch of other TV shows in their outfits.
That's such a good episode. And they go into the anime world, and all their lines are, like, off the... Oh,
yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
No, I
and
love...
The Simpsons, too.
My favorite one is when they go into, what's it called? Blue's Clues. And, like... The main character has, like, razor cuts on his face, and he's like, oh yeah, like, ignore my razor cuts on my face, I'm still a kid, just like you. It was so good.
Dude, that's why, oh man.
Oh my god.
Fairly OddParents is where it's at.
That's what I'm saying. Fairly OddParents is the best.
I'm liking your opinions on media more and more.
Thank you. I like to think that I have good opinions on everything but Star Wars.
Everything but Star Wars.
Everyone agrees with you on everything but Star Wars.
I think I have good judgment.
Jedi Bob likes his edgy cartoons.
No, okay, listen. As a kid, I thought it was cool because I was like, you can't say that on a kid's show, but they just did, and I was like, that's cool.
You were one of those kids. Were you one of those kids that like cursed behind your parents' back, like? All right, the adults are gone, guys. Let's swear.
Wait, I'm looking up that clip now.
Let's say the S word.
Exactly. It's
Dude,
like
that's
it's
so
like
good. They went into Simpsons. They went into the Blue's Clues. They went. Oh my god.
They went into the Rugrats,
really? I don't remember that.
right?
I have to look it up. I don't remember the Rugrats one. Dude, Courage the Cowardly Dog was so cursed. Oh, I hate that show. I cannot stand that show.
That was a really scary
That was
episode
such
of
a
Rugrats.
cursed show.
They called in the Blue's Clues show in Fairly Odd Parents was called Clint's Hints.
Oh, they also do Dora Explorer. Her name was Lauren Explorin.
He had the razor cut. Wait, is that is that the creator of the show? I forgot. What's his name?
I don't remember. Oh, Phil Hartman.
No, apparently it's some guy named Jason Marsden. He's the voice actor for Chester.
Wait, is it Chester and AJ? Like those are his two friends?
Yeah.
It's Chester and AJ are his friends, and then Elmer and Sanjay are his backup friends.
I'm gonna look up the Simpsons clip now.
Apparently, no. Phil Hartman died in the night. Oh, then who the heck is Phil Hartman? Did I just pull that name out of nowhere?
No, I don't think you did.
All right, who's the?
So Jay.
What's up?
Oh, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
You know, so I've been thinking about this question for a long time. You know Mauler's critique on The Last Jedi?
Oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah, would you be open to a discussion with him? If he was open.
I mean, I'll talk. I will talk about Star Wars to anyone, but I mean, like, we clearly just have two very different opinions on Star Wars. Like, I tried to watch his video, and he went on for like 20 minutes about why they should have used like Y-wings instead of resistance bombers. And like, if that's like your opinion, if like that's like something you feel so strongly about as to go on for 20 minutes about, like, we're just not gonna see eye to eye. Like, so I don't think that'd be a very productive conversation.
Okay. I won't bring it up again. I just wanted to ask, see if you
No, it's fine. It's just, like.
His name was Butch Hartman, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who made Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah.
Okay, I was pretty close. Then who the heck is Phil Hartman?
I don't know. Who is he, Jay?
Someone Google it. I'm busy.
But let's be honest, none of these cartoons scratch childhood show.
He's an American-Canadian actor.
Okay. What is he?
What
movie is Phil Hartman in?
It's loading. He was in The Simpsons, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, The Coneheads, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
So I think which one of these would I remember him from?
The Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah, that's where.
Oh my god.
What's his name?
That sounds like such a. Oh, he's in Small Soldiers. That's why I know him. He died. Oh,
yeah,
wait, hold on.
Small Soldiers?
Small Soldiers came out that year. He died that year? Bro, Small Soldiers came out in 1998. When did Small Soldiers come out?
1998.
1998.
Dude, that's so... He died, like, right before the movie came out.
That's like Heath Ledger with the... That's like Heath Ledger with the Dark Knight.
Dude, Phil Hartman was Heath Ledger before Heath Ledger was
I was watching I watched a clip from The Dark Knight, and that literally is one of the best films ever.
Christopher Nolan's a great director, but Tenet wasn't really good.
I agree with that. I haven't seen Interstellar or Inception though, and I've heard those are great.
Interstellar's fantastic.
Yeah, I hear that from everyone.
The music is great, and the directing is awesome.
I'm so sad that Phil Hartman is dead.
Yeah, okay.
Who did he play in Small Soldiers?
That ends the possibility of a Small Soldiers 2.
is Small Soldiers? I've never even seen that.
It's the best movie
Really?
ever.
Wait, other than Star Wars, Jay?
It might be better than Star Wars. Small Soldiers is
Jay,
more consistently perfect than Star Wars.
So Jay, I have a question for you. My brother always is asking this of me, so I guess I'll translate it here. He's always like, okay, you have to get rid of one franchise or one thing from the universe, right? And he's
What do
like,
you mean? What do you
he's
mean?
like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all this stuff, and I'm always like, yeah, Star Wars, right? No, I'm joking. So if I gave you the choice, I'm like, you have to get rid of SpongeBob, Star Wars, wrestling as a whole, Monster Truck.
Like,
Or
which of my
football.
loves would I get rid of?
Yeah.
That's hard. So for me, it'd be either Star Wars, Monster Trucks, or wrestling. Like, those are like
You
my
get
top.
rid of Star Wars?
No, I'm saying like which
Wow.
like those would be the three things I love the most. So like that's where I would start with the question. Like which of those
okay. I
three?
thought those were the things you were gonna get rid of.
Oh no. I'm trying to think between Star Wars, wrestling, and Monster Trucks. Which one would I get rid of? So I feel like Star Wars is off the table. Like
Yeah.
Star Wars is at the top of my list. So I'll keep Star Wars. So for me, it's like Monster Trucks or wrestling.
I would
And
have-
You should do Monster Trucks because you can just go to NASCAR and see some cars.
okay, it's
left
not the
for
same.
hours.
It's not the same thing. Monster Trucks are
It's not
totally
the
different.
same.
I mean, to that extent, you could say you could get rid of wrestling and go watch UFC. They're
You
not
can
the
get rid
same.
of Star Wars and go watch Star Trek. That's basically what it's like.
I feel personally attacked.
Wait, I'm gonna make a meme now.
Monster is
Um,
not great.
honestly, I might like I love wrestling. Like I love wrestling. But right now, I think I might get rid of wrestling.
Shay,
I'm
you're
taking.
breaking my heart. You're going down.
I'm just really
Jay,
into
what
Monster
did you
Trucks
not
right
like as a
now.
kid?
I feel like wrestling and Monster Trucks really like alternate in terms of importance for me. So like depending on what time of the year you ask me, that answer could change.
No, to be
Jay,
fair,
what
you haven't been into wrestling forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in
Jay,
a
what do
very
you not
Monster
like
Truck
as a
mood.
kid?
Say it again.
What do you not like as a kid?
What did I not like?
Yeah, what did you not like?
Me.
What did I not like as a kid?
Hard question.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I didn't like a ton of. I didn't like sports. I didn't like football. I'll say that. Like, I hated football when I was younger.
Then get rid of football.
But I love football now. Like,
Oh, you love it.
I guess.
now.
I mean, if you had to ask me, like, would I get rid of football, Monster Trucks, wrestling, or Star Wars? Football would probably be my first to go.
That was the thing that that was one of the options.
But the
Oh,
problem,
yeah,
the reason
SpongeBob.
I didn't add football in was because like I knew like it's too easy for me. I wanted to pick the three that like I'd really have to think about.
Oh, okay. Well, the easiest
What
one I
happens-
probably.
You
Get
go
rid
ahead,
of
Star Wars.
I'm sorry if I keep interrupting.
No, you're fine, dude. Go ahead.
I'm just happy to be here. I would probably get rid of Monster Trucks out of all of them.
Thank
Oof.
you. Yeah, the right choice.
I love
Out of
Monster
the other
Trucks though.
three that we've listed, I would get rid of football first.
Wow.
Honestly,
Y'all so show some respect to my loves. All right.
football just has too big of an influence on America, so I would just get rid of Monster Trucks. I don't care about them.
Bro, Monster Trucks is America's pastime.
If someone, yeah. Wait, what? No, wait a minute.
You heard what I
If-
said. Hey, what's
if
up,
someone-
Nick? How you doing, man?
If someone wanted to give me like a super hard question, like that would, I couldn't even make a decision. It would be between Star Wars, Lost, or like.
I didn't know you liked
one of
Lost
my-
that much.
Or one of my other loves, maybe Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay. How about this, Jedi
No,
Bob?
no.
Would you
Breaking
rather?
Bad
Hold
is
on.
the best.
Here's the great equalizer, Bob. Would you rather let go of Star Wars, wrestling, or girls?
Wait, does it mean let go mean become? Does letting go mean I become gay or something?
No, you're still into girls, but you just can never like be romantically involved with them.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Girls are like, I think most of us would say, yeah, well, we at least eventually want to get a girlfriend.
Hey,
Bro,
I would get rid of wrestling. Wow, I don't like Star Wars that much. Hold up.
Oh my God, Bob.
Hey,
Why?
Jay, I just posted a meme in Lego Star Wars meme chat.
Oh snap! Let's check it out.
Oh man, your memes
I want to be honest. I would give up Star Wars before I gave up girls. I'm sorry, guys.
Because girls are like a real life thing.
I mean, Star Wars is real life too, but
Wi-Fi.
Padme and the prequels. Padme and the Clone Wars.
I love it. That's amazing.
So,
Rick did it again.
So, listen, I like wrestling a lot. I can't say I like it. I can't say I like wrestling more than I like Star Wars, though, at the end of the day.
Alright, what about girls?
Over Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the problem. Oh, God. Star Wars, no.
What did he
Would
post?
Would you give up girls for that? Would you give up J-Girl for that? Would you
Oh
give
my
up
god.
girls?
Jeez.
I mean, who needs girls when there's rich boy girl?
Yeah.
Or rich girl J.
Trevor says, Jay, if you give up Star Wars, you give up like 50% of your channel. Yeah, but dude, girls, like, come on.
like, listen, you can't even
More
have
than
kids.
50%.
I would give up Star Wars for girls. I would still have like, I like other things other than Star Wars. I would live, but like if it was between Star Wars and Lost, I don't know what I would choose.
Is there anything you would pick over girls?
Lost.
Really? Okay.
No.
Even for the ending.
Don't diss that ending, or else I'm gonna throw hands.
The ending was bad.
Okay, so we're throwing hands. All right, I get that. Remember who's the moderator.
I'm not gonna go any further. I'm not gonna go any further than that. Just saying that.
Count Ravioli says, nah, I would give up girls in a heartbeat. You're stronger than me, man.
So like, would all the oh no, we already answered that. I was like, wait, would all the girls disappear?
Let's count Ravioli.
Honestly, if it. I'm sorry, a meme just popped up. And
which one?
Never mind. You might see it in It has some bad words in it.
Oh, is it in the other meme place?
Yeah, it's in the heavens, or well, not the hell of memes.
I don't see it.
Oh
Did
god.
you see it?
Yes, I did. Good
Like,
times.
is the picture of Jay's face? Like Miss.
Trevor says Lego is where I would draw the line. So Trevor, you would keep Lego over girls? I feel like it's a very age-dependent question. I feel like age really like might determine which one you might go with.
Listen, if it was between like you can get rid of all girls in the world.
No.
Okay,
girls
not
would
get rid
still
of, but they all
exist.
become boys or something, right?
No.
Like,
Girls would exist. But you just like it's like every girl you talk to would reject you, like every single one, no matter what. Which I mean, that's basically real life for most of us. But we don't.
I'm good.
You should make this the picture I posted in a meme chat a new emoji on this.
Oh god.
I'm
Trevor
not gonna
says
lie.
Lego will never leave.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had a girlfriend. And it's a lot of fun. It's more fun than Star Wars has given me.
Nick Coulter says, "What if you're married? Would you give up Star Wars to stay with your wife?" I don't know. That sounds. Of course you would. I don't know.
But like if I could choose, it's like all the girls will go to their own planet and live by themselves over Star Wars. I might do Star Wars.
Bro, girls are icky.
Star Wars will never break your heart. Oh wait.
Oh no. Yeah, that Star Wars seems to break my heart more than girls do, if I'm being honest.
Same.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart. You can get all you need out of you can get all you need out of a relationship.
I wonder what feels
The ups,
worse.
the downs,
What
and
feels
the
worse?
breakup.
What feels worse, episode 9 or being cheated on? I'd probably
what?
if you asked me like would I rather if would I rather have episode 9 have been like a good to great film, or like not get cheated on? How do I say this correctly? I get to choose. Either I get cheated on and Star Wars Episode 9 is good, or I never get cheated on and Star Wars Episode 9 is bad. I might just take an L and get cheated on. Let's assume it's your wife. Let's assume it's your wife.
Oh.
Oh.
I just thought that episode 9 sucked. I don't care about the sequels anyways, whatever.
Ooh.
I mean, I care about episode 7, but I don't care about 9.
I would have to go with getting cheated on, because that movie almost broke me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, getting cheated on would too, but like...
That's the thing. Like, here's the thing. Okay, here's
That movie
the
broke
difference.
my heart more than she ever could.
No, okay, but here's the difference. Like, if you get cheated on, like, you can go, like, find another person to be with, and, like, you know, you can live your life. Like, you can just put that other stuff out of your mind. Like, episode 9 is canon, and you can't just erase canon, unless you're Dave Filoni. But you can't just erase canon. So, like, it's gonna just be there forever, and you have to accept it.
I disagree. I'm totally the opposite.
Oh, you can just
like
ignore
the
canon.
The sequels as a whole, but more importantly, episode 9 by a landslide. Like, I think of Star Wars, and I think episodes 1 through 6 mainly, and then I also sort of think about 7 and 8, and then 9 just is like isn't even a factor. Like, I just don't think about it. I just don't remember it. It's a wonderful life.
You have
The
PTSD.
Hollywood special's better than episode 9.
Okay, Jay.
The holiday special was the best.
Okay, Jay. Would you take episode 9 being a good movie, but you become... wait.
I'm afraid to see where this is going.
I was gonna say you become a woman.
Yeah, sure, I'll become a woman for episode 9 to be good. Like, what?
Rich boy Jana.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I'll become a girl if it means like, can I also get rid of the prequels though? Like, can the prequels just not be a thing?
Yeah, but you have to be a straight girl.
Oh, so well, if I'm straight, okay. But I feel like if I'm straight, then like it makes no difference to me. Like, whatever. Like, if I'm into guys, I'm into guys.
No. I mean, you're gonna be dating boys now.
But if I'm straight, then like that's perfectly fine. Or you're saying I have my so I'm not actually straight.
You have your current mindset.
Yeah, so I'm attracted to girls, but like I'm physically only able to be with men. I mean, that's basically the question. Like, okay, like, would you give up girls or like have Star Wars? So like, would I not only become a girl, but I can also only date men?
Do it for Star Wars,
But
Jay.
I would honestly, I feel like a true boyo would take that L, and never feel love again. I would do it for you guys.
This is Star Wars after all.
Yes. I'll sacrifice my love life for the greater good.
The greater good of Star Wars. Stay on. It's such a
Just
small
stop
price
David
to play.
Sloan,
Oh no,
Terra.
I just messed it up.
Oh my god.
Such
Dude,
a
that was-
small price to pay for salvation.
Okay, Jay, I got a good question. More hypothetical question.
Okay.
You can have a night out with anybody of your choice for the next 7 days.
George Lucas.
Okay. Okay.
If he wants to, it could be anyone.
Okay.
Ooh, Captain.
Of any time, too. Let me put that out there.
Oh, so I can bring back the dead.
You could go out on a date with George Washington if you really so please.
Oh. Okay, Bob. Anyway, okay, where's this going?
But Star Wars gets erased.
Okay, I'm obviously taking Star Wars. Like, well, I wouldn't give up. What kind of simp would give up all of Star Wars for a date? Like, come on.
I mean, days
Or
Okay. Let me change
Jedi
it.
Bob's power.
let me change it. Star Wars isn't erased, but you have the chance to make episode 9 like your own vision, or just a good, or a movie you would like, if, like, you know.
So save Star Wars or get like my dream date.
For 7 days. 7 days of Daisy Ridley.
7 days of Daisy. I'll choose to save Star Wars.
Wow, really?
Bro, I really like Star Wars.
And you're the same guy that took Daisy Ridley over having superpowers.
But having I would take saving Star Wars over having superpowers.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm sorry that I love Star Wars and you don't, but that's just how I feel.
I love Star Wars. I just love, having
more.
having
I love
whatever
giving
superpower.
$500 to e-girls on Twitch chat.
That's a good superpower.
Trevor's.
I sacrifice donate $500 to an e-girl. That's gonna be his next question to Jay.
Jay, how much money would you pay, but you get to sit down and give a good smacking to Dave Filoni?
How much would I pay to rip Dave Filoni apart? I'd pay some good money for that. I'd spend a few hundreds of dollars on that.
Man spends hundreds of dollars to assault Star Wars creator.
Dave Filoni.
I wouldn't
Dave
smack
Filoni, your
asking some
reign of
questions.
terror comes to an end.
That'd be a good headline.
I'd be like, Dave, why? Why do you like Ahsoka so much? That'd be my main question.
Why was she 14 and wearing a tube top, Dave?
That is I would probably, if I got to ask Dave Filoni one question, I would definitely ask about the tube top thing. Like, bruh.
Well, we wanted her to
See, we have a lot of. His response would be, "See, we have a lot of young boys watching the show, and we wanted to give them something to look at, you know. I just love me some alien girls, don't you, Jay?"
Jay, she's 14.
I mean,
who's the person who made what's it called?
Jesus.
Was that show back in the day? It was Ren and Stimpy.
what about it?
Stimpy? What?
The person who made it is I can't say it on stream, but just do some investigation on that.
I'm so concerned about where this is going.
Does it have to do with Ahsoka and
About her being 14 having a tube tie?
Oh no!
So moving along.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, here's a question. No, that's too far. Soggy Waffle says, I almost, like, that was actually probably going to be the most, like, embarrassing Star Wars question I've asked.
Oh no.
Where is the
Wait,
Mando
what?
figure? Here he is.
Are you sure something like that's actually going on? I just looked it up and nothing was happening.
Jay, if you could have any Star Wars vehicle, what would it be? Like, in real life, I feel like a land speeder would probably, like, be
I was
the
about to say
the
which
most
land speeder.
practical. Yeah.
Yeah, like this thing is simple land speeder.
I don't know, maybe a Jedi Interceptor would also be kind of cool.
I would like that one actually.
But, like, would I be... Do we accept the fact that, like, I would be allowed to fly it? I think land speeder would be cool, but still not too far as to making a target.
I'd have a solo, a Star Wars story Millennium Falcon because I don't want that gross old version of the Millennium Falcon. I want a nice clean version.
Go.
She's gotta wear accounts, kid.
I've heard that one.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, here's a
That's
question.
Great, but it looks like
Jay, would you rather redo the prequels or Episode 9 in your own vision? Ooh, I'll go with Episode 9 for sure.
Yeah.
Like-
Episode 9, that thing needs redoing.
That was more insulting.
I guess because the thing about like, if the prequels are good, like, okay, sure, like, you know, makes them more enjoyable films, but, like, the original, if they still just, the original trilogy is still going to exist, so, like, the prequels are easier to ignore because, like, the future is brighter, if that makes sense, right? Like...
Okay, but you could recreate all 3 of the prequels and make 3 perfect movies in your eyes?
Like, that just, like...
Really?
I just felt the prequels are just easier. I'll put it this way. Like, I'm far more attached to... I guess, like, I don't know. Looking at episodes 7 and 8, like, I'm very attached to those characters. So, like, maybe I could make my own characters in the prequels, but, like, I don't know if... I just have more positive emotions towards the prequel starting out. I mean, towards the sequel starting out. So, like, it would mean more to me for that to be, like, a well-rounded trilogy. Whereas, like, the prequels, like, could just not exist and I wouldn't care. Like, I don't need those stories. Like, those don't really do much for me as a Star Wars fan.
I feel like they didn't need to happen, and so I wouldn't really care if they were good or bad if I got to make them. Whereas with Episode 9, like, that needed to be good, in my opinion. Whereas prequels didn't really need to. Like, they could have been better, but Episode 9 should have been way better.
I agree.
So, my take on that, and it's actually something kind of funny, because I run through this scenario a lot in my head. I always think, like, me and my friends, or my brother and I, will take, like, could we make a better version of Episode 8? Could we make a better version of Episode 9 or the prequels? And the problem with Episode 9, if we're doing this kind of like, oh, you're in charge of making the better version, you have the chance to recreate it. So you have either the chance to recreate all 3 of the prequels or just Episode 9. Honestly, Episode 9 was locked into a tough position that I'm not brave enough to try to redo, or even care enough to redo.
I'm not brave enough to make anything for Star Wars fans because, like, there's no consistency with it.
Well, with episodes 1 through 3, which I love a lot already, the best part about it is I could take the aspects and lines and certain things I really did like about the prequels and just, I could make them better. I would, first of all, I've always said this, Episode 1 needed to start at, Episode 1 needed to be Attack of the Clones. It should have been the start of the Clone War. And then Episode 2 should have just been Rogue One, but Clone Wars edition. And then Episode 3 should have been Episode 3.
I'm still not convinced the Clone Wars need to be a part of the prequels. Like, I don't think they need to.
I like it, and I don't mind it still being there. I
mean, yeah, like, it's not a bad thing, but like, if I get a chance to like redo it, like, it wouldn't be a foregone conclusion to me to like, oh, the clones have to be involved, because I don't think they necessarily have to be. Like, the best parts of Star Wars to me don't involve the clones, so I'm not like, oh, like, let me try to figure out how to force these guys into it. Like, I mean, they could be there, and it could be interesting.
Naturally.
I mean, it doesn't have to, though. Like the Clone Wars could have just been, like, a small thing that, like, didn't really matter.
You have to say the Clone Wars, or else... because, I mean, if you're doing prequels, and they have to focus, there's still the rule of it has to focus on how Anakin becomes evil.
Sure.
Then the Clone Wars is more or less has to be somehow involved.
But why? Why?
Clone Wars doesn't have to be that big. It didn't have to be this huge thing that involved Anakin and everybody. Like,
the Clone Wars, if you make the prequels...
It has to be one thing, right? Like, just one moment. It doesn't have to be a huge thing.
Yeah, like, the Clone Wars could literally happen before the prequels and, like, not make a difference. Like...
But I'm thinking if you're making prequels, and we already heard my father served in the Clone Wars, or you served in the Clone Wars, like...
Yeah, that could have just been something he did before the prequels start.
Funny part, then even showed Obi-Wan helping Bail Organa, so clearly it doesn't matter if George didn't even do it.
What do you mean? Why would he help Bail Organa? What are you talking about?
Well, Leia says, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars.
Oh, you served my father? Okay, no. Okay, you're talking about with what Leia. I thought... Okay, yeah.
I don't think...
I thought that the Clone Wars was fine.
I mean, it'd be fine. I'm just saying, okay. It wouldn't be a foregone conclusion for me. Like, if I come up with a better story that doesn't include it, then, like, I don't need them there. Like...
But that's how I would do it, at least. I would make Episode 2, except better, you know. Actually, I would rewrite a lot of Episode 2. Like,
I'll tell you what. if I got to redo the prequels, here's the first thing I would do. The number one thing, like if I don't do anything else, the Jedis just like have to be presented in any type of like a respectable way. Like there can be corruption and you know they could quote unquote have lost their way, but I think there has to be some example of a good Jedi in those movies. I think that's what like ultimately just turns me off, because there's no example of a good Jedi in those movies. Like it's supposed to be
kind of.
He brought Darth Vader into the Jedi Order. I'd say Qui-Gon's the worst example of Jedi.
As like a person, I understand that, and I'm not saying that he didn't bring wrongdoing. I'm saying that he wasn't as corrupt as others, and he seemed to care about people more so than like a lot of people on the council.
I
like,
totally disagree. I actually totally disagree. Like people say, like the reason Qui-Gon brought Anakin into the Order is because he quote unquote cared about him. But like you use this kid to win you a race. Like, so you can get your money for your ship. Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, he didn't have to, like, put Anakin in harm's way. And he kind of pushed back against it. But he ultimately agreed with it.
I thought Anakin was going to do it anyways.
It didn't necessarily have to.
But Anakin enjoyed it. It's not like something Anakin...
Right, but it was still a death race. Like, it was still very dangerous. Like...
But
my point is that like Qui-Gon like basically used Anakin so he could get something that he wanted, and then he used Anakin again to like bring him into the Jedi Order. Like he didn't have to make him leave his mom behind. He didn't have to make him become a Jedi. Like those are all like things that served Qui-Gon as opposed to like came out of like genuine care for Anakin. Like
I'm confused.
I know that he had problems and he's not perfect by any standpoint, but I'm saying he seemed more compassionate than like Mace Windu, for example, who just didn't like or care about many. Like he seemed very arrogant.
Okay, but like was he though? Like it seems like Qui-Gon's decision to train Anakin, even like while all the other Jedi's like could feel grave danger in him, and that like he would be a problem. That to me sounds like someone like, oh, I'm just gonna disregard like everyone else's safety because I want to train Anakin. Like that seems pretty selfish to me. Like
let's be honest about something.
That's fair. But I do think that like sorry, Bob. Can I finish? When for example, like when in the Clone Wars, when like Mace Windu didn't forgive Ahsoka at all for like accusing her, as well as that was like a big example. There's another one, but I can't really think of the top of my head, so I'm just gonna go with that one. He didn't seem to genuinely care about anybody except he didn't genuinely care, which is he like seemed very arrogant, and he couldn't seem to like think he was wrong about anything. He thought that he was like in the right like he was morally higher than everybody else in that situation. I thought that was like really odd.
How is Qui-Gon any different than that? Like the rest of the council tells him like, hey, like maybe we shouldn't train this kid, and he's like, oh no, like I can't accept this. Like my thoughts are better than everyone else's. I just feel like Qui-Gon has a lot of the same flaws that all the other Jedi has.
Well, the council mainly did it because they sensed fear in him, which was a bit odd to me because they took him away from his home. He was also, even though they brought up the argument that he was too old.
Well, no, but they didn't take him away from his home. Qui-Gon took him away from his home. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I guess Qui-Gon could have left him there, but it's not like Anakin would have loved to stay there. He's a slave.
But he got freed, though.
Would it be dangerous to leave like a very strong Force individual out in the open without training to try and like help him with his fear? Which was a problem I had, like when they were saying you have too much fear in you. Wouldn't it be a better idea to train him, let go of his fears?
But the assumption of a Jedi is that like, if you have too much fear, then nothing is really going to fundamentally going to change that. Like yeah, we can train you to get rid of it and hope that works out. But like, if it's already there, it's probably just gonna stay there. And it did. That's the thing. Like, they were totally right. The Jedi were like 100% right with Anakin. Like, all of their fears and concerns about him, like, totally fair and well warranted. Like,
well, you can't just say that they were morally higher than everybody else, because they were scummy in a lot of areas as well.
But how?
Like a lot of the,
how are the Jedi scummy?
A lot of the practices that they did were very cultish, and it was very odd. They took away prepubescent children away from their homes, having no connection to their family. Which
I mean, that's okay. That's like a
the
Clone Wars thing, though. Like, and they're. I mean, I'm pretty sure their parents willingly gave them up. I don't know. Like,
they did. They didn't steal them.
Yeah, they definitely didn't steal them.
Yeah, but it's kind of odd for for a parent to just be like, okay, bye forever.
I think ultimately, like,
they wanted what's best for the child.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I know, but it just seems a bit odd that you would just give them away and then never see them again.
I do agree with him, though. Yeah, I think it is a little odd that they're just like, yeah, alright, you can have my kid.
But, like, is that the Jedi's fault?
I don't care.
No, it's not Jedi's fault. It's just a crappy galaxy.
Yeah.
So, one
It's
thing
not the Jedi's fault, it's just a weird thing. As well as, the fact that they this is a thing brought up in the Clone Wars as well. The Jedi just became very, what's the word I'm looking for? Cared more for, like, politics than actual saving the galaxy. They more so cared about, what's good for the Republic more than what's good for the galaxy, which was not a good thing for the galaxy, because caring about, just leading with their government system led to, like, the death of hundreds of thousands of more people. Mandalore is a case where a lot of people died because of it, but that's not the Republic's fault. That's more of a neutrality thing that the Republic had. But the Jedi followed that, which is just a bit odd to me, because the whole, it is not, that leads to the point, sorry, that's bad wording on my part.
One thing I've always found weird about, and this is kind of returning back to, like, what we were talking about Qui-Gon and stuff. Why does Qui-Gon exist? Shouldn't that have been Obi-Wan?
Nah, fam.
Yeah.
I gotta go take a shower now. I'm gonna leave.
Alright, see you, man. Thanks for coming.
I'll try and be in the next stream.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Pull up.
Thank you for letting me be on.
Yeah, no problem, man. HoloNet says, we can't really bring up Clone Wars and prequel arguments. Yeah, that's like, they really are, like...
I understand, like, it was a small point to my argument. I was just saying it was like a bring up to, like, a small segment of it. And I said, I even acknowledge it's not what I meant to say was to acknowledge the fact that it's not the greatest point of argumentation, but it's kind of there, and I kind of had to just address it to get through my point as well. You can't ignore the Clone Wars in a prequel in some certain.
You absolutely can't. The prequels weren't written. The prequels weren't written with the Clone Wars in mind. Like, I think you can absolutely ignore them.
You can with certain elements, but other elements that are now presented through the Clone Wars, you can't ignore them.
I mean, certain things are canon for sure. I'm just saying, like, if you're just talking about the prequels' presentation of Jedi, like, the Clone Wars doesn't really fit into that. If you're talking about, like, okay, how would I remake these movies? Because, like, I would just disregard the Clone Wars. Like, I think if the prequels are good enough, you don't need Clone Wars. Like, like, you can have Clone Wars to tell certain stories, but you don't need them to make the prequels feel, like, substantive and meaningful. That's just how I feel.
I also agree that, I don't believe it's good for the, another source material to make, like, the main source, like, the main story better, because then that's a problem, because the story didn't explain itself well enough for you to, and then that just is lazy and bad writing, which wasn't, I didn't bring up Clone Wars specifically just say to, like, prove my point overall. I just brought up a tiny section of, like, an argument to bring on, like, to bring.
I just feel like
perspective.
I feel like George, like, I feel like if I go back and I watch like Clone Wars and even, I mean, the prequels really, like, the Jedi weren't corrupt to me. Like, they were dumb, but they weren't like fundamentally like corrupt, really, in any discernible way. To me, they were just
not in a lot of
kind
senses
of dumb.
to me.
Like, they
I'm
were
just
still
saying
like
in certain
kind
areas.
people, and like they sat around and figured out, okay, like how can we help people? Like,
Short attack on the Wookiees.
yeah, like they like totally did not have to go do that. Like, that was such a like silly thing, but they're like, okay, like whatever, we'll go help them out. They were just kind of dumb. I think that's the thing. The Jedi weren't. I mean, they were flawed in that they were just not very bright. Like, everyone around them around them told them like every bad thing that was gonna happen, and they just kind of ignore it. Just like, whatever, that can't be true. I don't believe it. Like, that to me is just silly.
Another problem I had with the prequels that in like it was the fact that Obi-Wan, Count Dooku even told him that there's an enemy inside the Senate.
Exactly.
And Obi-Wan just didn't act upon it. It was just
Yeah, they did.
odd.
Well, I mean, he
Like,
talks
oh,
to
that's cool.
at the end of the movie. He talks to like Yoda and Mace about it, but still they do nothing. Like,
Even in Clone Wars, they're like, oh wait, there's a big menace in the Senate. Oh, we're just gonna ignore
whatever.
it.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully, this won't hurt us. And see you,
We
Caleb.
didn't
Thanks for
see
tuning
him
in. Man.
die, guys.
It's just, ugh. Yeah, I just wish the prequels were kind of bright.
Just a little bit.
Well, I think what we can reach from all these arguments is that the prequels are just great. So,
Prequels are not good.
I don't know. Are we being?
I'm
Are
not
we
gonna
being?
stand by that
That's
horse.
one thing they agree.
Yeah, Bob. Are we being unreasonably critical of the prequels?
no, I don't. I mean, these are all actually pretty fair.
Trevor04 says no
I
one
think
told
that-
anyone anything, and that was your point about season 7. Yeah, don't even get me started on season 7 of Clone Wars.
Oh,
what?
please don't get them started on season 7 of Clone Wars for my sake. I don't want to die tonight.
Bro,
I think it was garbage. I
No.
think season 7 was overall garbage.
It is. It sucks. I just hate it, man. That last arc, oh my god. Please get it out of my eyes. Haha. Right?
I'm not joking. I think the final arc was okay, but it wasn't as good as everyone says it was.
Yeah.
I agree that it's overhyped, but I still think it's good.
it's just whatever to me. Like,
Yeah.
It's just...
to me, honestly, I like that arc on its own is fine. Like, it's a decent ending for whatever. But here's my problem. That arc goes so out of its way to tie in episode 3, and then goes out of its way to like defy things that we see in episode 3. And that's what my issue is. Like, okay, like the arc goes out of its way to say like, oh yeah, like, oh, like this is so tight in episode 3, guys. Like, you watch this, this will quote unquote enhance your episode 3 viewing experience. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna like consider episode 3 while I'm watching this, and then it's like, okay, like, oh, Ahsoka's such a noble Jedi. She doesn't want to kill the clone troopers. Okay, so then what are we supposed to think about Anakin? I mean, or think about Obi-Wan and Yoda then? Are they crappy Jedis because they just like mercilessly murder the clones? Like, okay, whatever. We see like Ahsoka like running through like hundreds of clone troopers, and it takes like a handful to kill like Jedi masters. So like, okay, like what are we supposed to think here? Like, is Ahsoka that much more skilled that like she's able to just run through all these like laser blasts from hundreds of clones surrounding her, and it's not a problem? But like Ki-Adi-Mundi can't handle like 5 or 6.
I wonder if Ki-Adi has a bigger brain than others.
Oh god.
Misha Goldstein says it's called retconning JSMH. But you see my point here, right? Like, I'd be fine if like Clone Wars is just like its own thing, like its own like separate thing. Like, it doesn't really try so hard to adhere to the prequels, and I can kind of accept it like that, because for me, at the end of the day, it's a cartoon, and by virtue of that, I'm not going to take it as seriously and scrutinize it as much as I would live action Star Wars. But then when the show goes out of its way to tie into episode 3, I'm like, okay, like, you're trying to be important. You're trying to put yourself at the level of episode 3. Now I'm looking at you and trying to see how episode 3 fits into this, and it just doesn't work.
Dude, Dr. Krennic is so cool.
Doctor?
Yeah,
I mean,
Dr. Krennic.
director critic?
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Doctor critic!
Dr. Krennic! I'm calling him Dr. Krennic.
I mean, he does wear all white, but still, come on,
Yeah,
man.
you know, and he visited me in the hospital that once, Dr. Krennic.
Ravioli says, Jay, I'm assuming you're not going to watch Bad Batch. I'm probably not going to watch that show.
Oh, I definitely am.
I mean, would you not watch Rogue One? There was nothing new in that. It was just Stormtroopers versus Rebels.
If Rogue One came out now, I wouldn't. That's the like Rogue One was the first. I guess Rebels had already. Rebels was happening at that point. But Rogue One was like the first movie to like dive into the original trilogy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But like the third or fourth time, I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. That's what people don't understand. Like, this isn't just what I'm doing. Isn't just an objection to old things. Like the first or second time you do it, okay, like that's kind of interesting. Like I played Battlefront, I watched Rebels, I watched Rogue One, but like once you keep going back to that, like the fourth and fifth time, I'm like, okay, like I'm done. Like I don't need to see any more of this time period, and I don't see like why that's such a controversial thing. Like, if they made like another Rogue One-esque movie about something else, and they didn't end it again and again and again, like at some point, I feel like anyone would kind of be like, I've seen enough. Like, even if there's new characters, even if there's a slightly new dynamic, like, the grand scheme of things is kind of boils down to Rebels versus Empire. And I feel like at some point, it's totally fair to just be like, I think I've seen enough of that. I don't know. I don't see... People just act like they don't understand that thought process, and I don't really get why, because I feel like that's totally fair.
Oh man, did you see what Trevor said in the chat?
You should have... Hold on. You should appreciate the fact that the Order 66 montage showed the Jedi dying instead of just having them start deflecting clones' lasers.
Weird question, but anyone in the live chat right now, did any of you guys like Pokemon?
We're not going to talk about Pokemon, Bob.
I just want to know yes or no.
Why it's like you try your hardest to derail
Most
streams.
recent, like 5 seasons, probably.
We're not going here. We're in the midst of a deep Star Wars conversation.
No, it's just pretty flashing.
Everyone needs a little bit of Pikachu in their life. Bigga. I haven't done that in so long.
Robon asked a good question. He says, why does every story have to be needed? I'm assuming this is like his I thought this was his response to the Solo movie. He says, extra stories are great. We didn't need the Mandalorian, but it's epic, so I mean, I don't know. I didn't view the Mandalorian as something as whether or not it was quote unquote needed. I think when people ask whether or not something is needed, it's like, is this something that we already have enough information on? Like, do we need to see this more? I think that's kind of where it comes from. So you ask Han Solo, like, did we need to see more Han Solo? And I think most people would agree all of Han Solo's best on-screen moments, like, were not in Solo. I don't know. Maybe you think there's some good ones in Solo, but I think people felt like we saw enough of like Han Solo, where like I don't need to see more of him. I think that's where that came from.
So, I have a question for you, Jay.
What's up?
My brother said this. He's obviously a big, like, he read a bunch of legends. And I said, oh, yeah, I was complaining how I didn't really like Ahsoka and Mandalorian. I was like, I liked her, but, like, I don't want more of her. And I was like, man, the Boba Fett stuff. And he's like, oh, brother, you're so crazy. And I'm like, why? And he kind of gave me an answer that I was like, I never thought about it that way. He's like, Star Wars has always been giving us, like tons of information.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yes, they have.
No, it's not true.
No.
Always?
Yeah,
No.
In the books and stuff.
Yeah, but that I wouldn't say that's quote unquote Star Wars. That's not mainstream Star Wars. That's like
Okay.
that's George Lucas
this was
being like, okay, like whatever, make your own. I don't really care. Like
He was thinking, it's like, what's the problem with them doing this? This is more or less them just basically writing more books, but just showing it on screen. It's not like any of these are mainstream movies. These are all just TV shows. And I was like, you know what? I'll give that to you. I'm like that.
Because they're trying to act like this is, you know, mainstream. This is all canon. This is all supposed to be.
I mean, all that was canon.
The other stuff.
I mean,
All the
no, it
books are
wasn't.
canon.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Yes,
It
it
wasn't
was.
canon at the same level as the films. No, it was not.
I guess so, but I mean, I kind of agree with him there. I'm like, listen, as long as none of this really breaks out onto like the on-screen stuff, I'm kind of content with it.
Okay, so here's
Let's
my
be
question.
honest.
Here's my question.
99% of Star Wars fans, 99% of the casual Star Wars fans will not watch Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, anything. They probably don't even watch The Mandalorian as it is.
What? Hold on. Is the is the Mandalorian mainstream? Yes or no?
I'll say yes. My bad. I would say Mandalorian is mainstream.
Okay, like there's the answer to your question. Like,
It's because it's live action. I think that's why.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. This isn't just like some book that you can ignore or whatever. Like
But
this
you
is
can.
like
I
on
ignore
the
episode
same
9
level.
perfectly fine.
Okay, sure, Bob, but you still get my point, right? Like,
I can see. Okay, that is slightly more canon to me.
like you can
because
ignore it
it's
if you
actual
want,
media.
but like there's a difference. There's a big difference between a book and live action, like a live action mainstream Star Wars production. Like there's a big difference.
I guess so.
I think the
I don't
thing
know.
is,
I don't
okay,
have
so,
a big
so here's the
issue with
thing.
it. He's just
Here's
like,
the
they're
thing.
just giving you more information. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I don't like it, and honestly, I mean, if it's its own thing, if Boba Fett's doing his own thing, I don't like it to be involved in The Mandalorian, because that's a show I care about, and I don't want to see it get ruined by just fan service. But, like,
Boba Fett is getting his own show.
I know, and I'm fine with, like, I mean, it's stupid, but I'm like, I don't care. I don't even have to watch it. It doesn't matter to me. Meanwhile, The Mandalorian is something that matters to me, and then they shove in all this crap in it, and I'm just like, ugh.
I think so here's my thing.
Final episode.
My argument against it was never. I mean, yeah, we're getting too much Star Wars content. Like, I think that's very true. Like, there's a such thing as like Star Wars overload. But it's not just like, oh, I'm against like all these shows because it's just more Star Wars. Like, if there were like 5 shows announced and 3 of them were new and 2 of them were like whatever, I'd be like, okay, like that's something. Like, that seems like a good enough strategy. Like, there's those people who are just gonna never get tired of the Empire, and that's just whatever. Like, give them what they want. But, like, also, like, here's the new direction we're taking Star Wars in that doesn't just rely on nostalgia. The problem is there's, like, none of that now. Like, all of it is, like, a big nostalgia trip. And that's what's disappointing for me. There's no longer a commitment to making quote-unquote Disney Star Wars. The commitment now is to making like hardcore Star Wars, giving hardcore Star Wars fans like the things they like wrote about in their like 10th grade journal, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, but here's another problem. It seems like the 99% of the fans that are watching all this enjoy it.
I mean,
what do
sure,
you think
yeah,
about
like
that?
like
you want people to enjoy it, like.
yeah,
That's fine.
we were talking about that earlier. Like, yeah, like people like it, and that doesn't make it my argument isn't like I get it, but it's still I don't think that makes it any less like simple and safe. Like, I think like you can be critical of something that quote unquote everyone enjoys.
So let me ask
Bad
you this: Are
writing
you
is bad writing. It doesn't matter if everybody likes, like, if it's bad, if it has.
I mean, no, that's true. But the point of any media is to get the most amount of people to like it and enjoy it and appreciate it and watch it and get their money.
That's not the
Than
point of
anything.
media.
That is
Like,
the goal.
That's the point of like hack media. I'd like to.
I know, but at the end of the day, that's what Disney's main goal is. Like, it doesn't make it right.
That
but that's
wasn't
not
necessarily
Disney's
always the
goal,
case
that's
though.
Disney.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Disney.
But
I would say that's media's goals too. I would say that's honestly.
No. There were.
Okay,
that
modern
what Lucas
safety
was doing
films
with
are not for
Netflix?
everybody.
I think there are
Slow,
absolutely.
silent films.
There are absolutely like people out there who have a vision, who want to make art that like people may or may not like, but like they have a vision and something they want to see unfold. They don't start
And
with
it doesn't matter if it's good or not to people.
right, yeah,
for
like
them.
it's like
I know, I agree with that. But to Star Wars, which is a mainstream thing now, their goal is saying, let's get the most money out of this.
I mean
it's
that's
not
always
just-
going to be a goal,
Which was not the
but
original intent of Star Wars, though.
but like
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that that is the current objective, is let's
Okay, well, I
impress...
thought you just meant overall it was Star Wars' objective.
No. I mean, originally, most movies, they always start out as, hopefully, and that's how they should start out, is just, this is a story that I think other people would like to watch, that I like personally, I'm gonna make it.
true.
But unfortunately, Star Wars now, especially Disney, is like, let's make something that hopefully most people will like, and it'll be a cash cow.
It's meant to be safe. A lot of people want a safe thing because they know it will be genuinely... They won't take a risk and they won't destroy like their favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Which risk-taking isn't inherently a bad thing in filmmaking at all.
I mean, you fail and you lose some, and I feel like Disney didn't learn from that.
You
There's,
gain
like,
from what you've lost.
Yeah, like
Hold
the
on,
Last Jedi
real
was
quick.
a failed experience. I
Real
mean,
quick.
half the people loved it, half the people disliked it.
real quick. Shout out to Esther Stevens for the $1.99 dono. He says, "I met you today, Willowbrook." I'm happy we got to meet, man. Robert Garrity says, "Media has many different purposes to inform, persuade, or entertain. What do you feel Star Wars does?" I mean, I think at this point, the goal of Star Wars is purely to make Star Wars fans happy.
Yeah, I'd say
It's doing that, though. It is doing that. That's the thing.
But I'm not. I never said it wasn't, Bob.
I know, but you always are, like, angry about it.
I'm angry about it because there's nothing artful about that. There's nothing creative, inspiring. There's nothing worth applauding. Like,
What
anyone
about the New
can do
Republic
that.
stuff? Or not the New Republic, whatever the Old Republic,
The
whatever
High
that shows are
Republic.
called.
I don't know. It might be like who knows, but like, I mean, I don't know. That's a bunch of books. Like, that's not.
They're making it the next trilogy, I thought.
I mean, we don't know that for
No.
a fact yet. I don't
No,
think
I
it
thought
will
that's
be.
what the next.
But
I was really hoping that's what the next trilogy was about. I was excited.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that could be the case. Like, we don't know
Well,
for a
it could
fact
be a
either way.
show, but
Well, the books are going to be probably like a starting point to set up something bigger.
That seems like a weird
Jay,
place.
If it makes you feel better, Star Wars Explained, who you like, I know that, read the new what is it called? High
Yeah, I
Republic.
did see that he read. I need to watch his
And
videos
he
on
said
this.
it was one of his favorite novels, and it was refreshing. It was new. It was original. And I honestly, I'm really hyped if those get made into movies, because there's like, I mean, there is a way, and they might find a way, God forbid, but hopefully that is like almost a cement wall of saying we cannot connect it like with specific characters. Like, yeah, the
But
Jedi
isn't
might still be
I'm
there.
pretty sure Yoda's in it. I'm pretty sure Yoda's
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, they said
If
Yoda
Yoda's
would
the
still
only
be
one
young.
in it, if Yoda's the only one in it, I'm content with that. I can live with that at the end of
I
the
say,
day.
here's my thing with the High Republic. So if Yoda's in it, like, that makes it pretty
Maybe
close to
Yaddle
the
too.
prequels. That makes it pretty close to the prequels. And I don't know, I've been told by a bunch of fans of the Jedis, a bunch of Star Wars fans online, that like the Jedi supposedly lost their way and like this whole regime is flawed and like etc etc etc. So we all know it ultimately is just leading up to this flawed like regime of Jedi. So that on the surface kind of makes me like not super hype about it. I just really hope that it goes out of its way to distinguish itself. But like when Obi-Wan talks about it, he's like the Jedis were the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy for over 1,000 generations until the dark times, until the Empire. So like there couldn't have been any like events that were extraordinarily like significant or impactful because like the dark times didn't happen until the Empire. So like how far can you really go to like put these Jedis through struggles if
I agree with that. Honestly, it's one of my biggest issues of why Disney can't swallow their pride and just call it the Old Republic and go back like 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. Like,
people are worried that they'll ruin it. That's the reason.
No, but like Disney shouldn't care about that. Like, they should just be like, okay, like, just do it. Like, oh my god, how cool would it be?
Bro,
Yeah,
but that's
but
like I feel like you just made my point. Like, and that's why like episode 9 is so offensive, and that's why a lot of the properties they've announced are so offensive, because they've lost that. Okay, like, let's just try this and see if people are into it. Like, it's not like we're gonna start off like, okay, Boba Fett, we're gonna make him a show. People love him. Like, let's just give them what they what they might want to see Boba Fett doing, and that's not like risky at all. Like, that's so safe.
It wouldn't even be as offensive if they were just doing also a bunch of original stuff alongside it. So, like, yeah, sure, maybe we have Boba Fett, and, you know, I know no matter what, you're not gonna like that. But I wouldn't be as upset about all these Star Wars shows if we were also getting not a High Republic show. Personally, I don't want a bunch of shows. I'd rather have, like, 1 or 2 at most. Like, I don't like Star Wars being oversaturated. I don't think it's a good thing at all.
Yeah.
I actually totally agree with that point.
Star Wars is supposed to feel special. It's not supposed to feel Marvel.
Exactly that. It just doesn't feel like that anymore. But nobody else really feels like that.
But Bob, it's making people happy.
Yeah.
I never said that was the right decision. I just said that was like the company's goal. Like, I understand why they're making these decisions. It's just kind of annoying.
I know
But,
what
like,
the next Boyo quote's gonna be.
But
It makes people happy.
it makes
Jedi
people yeah.
But
Jay, it
Star
makes people
Wars,
happy.
I've always had this fear ever since Disney first bought Star Wars that they were going to turn it into a cash cow. And they sort of did, but sort of didn't. Like, originally when they first got it, The Force Awakens came out, and with Rogue One, I was like, oh, okay, a movie every year. Like, that's kind of annoying, but I can get past it. But I just hate the fact that Star Wars is becoming so just... It's supposed to feel special, man. Everyone felt special when Rogue One, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi came out. There was a big deal around it. It was Star Wars, especially since it was back. And then as soon as Solo came out, because it only came out like 6 months after, everyone's like, what the heck? What is this? No one cares about this. No one wants this. It was like 6 months ago. No one likes Star Wars anymore anyways because of the last one.
No one knew about it.
Hmm?
I said no one knew about it. The marketing for Solo was horrendous.
Yeah, I literally found out the day of. I'm like, Solo came out? What? Am I actually going to watch that? Ew. And then I watched it, and it was the saddest thing I've ever experienced. Usually, going to a Star Wars movie, I'm hyped. I'm like, holy crap, something's going to happen. And I'm like, oh, it's just Solo.
The marketing, the biggest marketing thing they had for Solo was Denny.
So
You get
sad.
collector
That is
cards.
right, yeah. They had a big, like, Denny's push.
And,
Oh my
the
God,
guys
I was
from,
watching-
Collider were like, I love Denny's.
I was gonna say, oh my god, I used to watch Collider all the time, and they did this one show, like a Jedi Council, in the middle of a Denny's, and all you hear the whole episode is like the forks scraping plates, and I'm just like, okay, like they've gone too far. These guys are shilling so hard right now.
We love Denny's.
We love Denny's. I haven't been to this restaurant in 5 years, but I love it.
I used to go here every card trip. It was great.
Yeah.
Denny's
I don't know,
was
man.
my favorite food establishment.
Misha
Star Wars-
Goldstein says Star Wars stopped being sacred once The Phantom Menace came out. That's not incorrect.
What? No, that is incorrect. Listen, even though Star Wars may have sucked to a lot of people back then, like, it still was a special thing. It was
But-
special.
I think the prequels were like the first George just kind of doesn't care anymore. I think
Yeah,
that's
but they were still an event. They were still like a Star Wars. It's not happening every other year.
Right, yeah,
It's-
but it was-
it's a movie.
but it was
And like
Going every 3 years.
and I'm saying even with Disney, I don't blame Disney at first. Like it still felt special. And if they would have not been doing a movie every year, in my opinion, which it wasn't even the end-all be-all, but like when you start having literally, I think, 5 different shows coming out, and you're saying, oh, we have like 50 different trilogies coming out. Like, screw you, man. Like, honestly. That's not how Star Wars should be handled. It shouldn't be handled like, bucko. Hey, everyone get your hands all over this. Hey, everyone, make your own type of show. No, screw that. Star Wars should be a very, like, sacred thing. You should be like, we only save this for the stories that... And, I mean, listen, animation's different. If you want to make a bunch of animated TV shows, I think that'd be slightly different because as canon as Clone Wars is for me, I can definitely see why an animated show just does... Like, Resistance, it means nothing to me because I'm just like, that's, you know...
See, I feel like when I say that about the Clone Wars, everyone's like, "Oh, that's crazy."
No, I get it. I absolutely get it. I mean, it's canon to me, but it's just because I grew up with it, and it's what I knew was Star Wars for the longest time.
Right.
But a show being animated, it doesn't like devalue the quality. If the show's good and your mind thinks it's so good, it's just gonna make it canon in your head automatically. That's just kind of how it'll go, probably.
Right, and same with books. Like, there's plenty of people who like. Their Legends books were just as, you know, important as Star Wars, important part of Star Wars as the films. So, like, I mean, I feel like that goes across the board.
So, like, it's very, like, but the thing is, with animation, someone who doesn't like it can easily decanonize it way easier than they could live action. And I think that's a really good thing about animation. It can be super canon to one person, but not canon at all to the other, and it doesn't really conflict with each other. Jay doesn't really view Clone Wars, right? He knows it exists, he's watched it, but it doesn't cross a second thought to him. You know, like, it's no big deal to you. To me, it means everything. But when it comes to live action, Episode 9 kind of screws... I mean, Episode 9 screws you over more than The Mandalorian ever would, too, because it's also a movie, which is even bigger. But with all these live action shows, it's just... It sucks because it's like... Okay, Boba Fett. Why?
Bob,
like,
Bob.
I don't mind.
It makes people happy.
I know it makes people happy, but
that's a Boya quote.
That shouldn't be the reasoning behind it. Like, I understand that's the reasoning behind it because it makes money, but like that's just a crappy way to do things.
I feel like me and Alex McBrick like started this conversation by trying to make this point. And like you're finally like circling around to like making the exact same point that we were making.
Well, look, I had character development.
Bob is having an arc right in front of our eyes.
But like, I don't think The Mandalorian is something... I think The Mandalorian is a perfectly fine show to bring out as a live-action show, especially Season 1. I'm like, yeah, this is a value... I think this is good enough, and I think the value behind it is good enough to justify it being a live-action show.
Right,
honestly. Right. I even think Season 2, it gets close to me saying, okay, let's stop, but like I can handle it. But like Boba Fett, no. If you want to make like maybe a little, and I know it's a mini series, thank God, but come on. The Kenobi show, I'm gonna have to see it. Like I know there's definitely, in my opinion, I won't mind it, but that's just because I'm a prequel fan.
I'm pretty sure like, Kathleen Kennedy already announced that like Anakin and Obi-Wan are gonna fight in that show.
Oh God!
I'm pretty sure. Like,
I would be okay with the Kenobi show if they did it like Lost, where half of it was flashbacks to Clone Wars, which is like okay, yeah, more Clone Wars, but like, and again, I'm a prequel fan, so I'm a little bit biased towards Kenobi. But then Ahsoka, I think, is the stupidest thing in the world. We don't need an Ahsoka show. Please God, don't make an Ahsoka show. Please God. Exactly. We got perfect amount of.
Bro.
I don't even.
Bro, she makes people happy. How many times have I explained this to you, Bob? Bro.
She doesn't make me happy.
Bro, but Star Wars fans want to see her. She's the most popular Star Wars character right now. Aside from, like, Grogu. And she also makes Dave Filoni happy in some ways that I won't mention.
When Dave Filoni intervened.
I don't know, man.
Holonet says, like, can Bob go 10 minutes without bringing up Lost?
No, Lost is better than Star Wars. I will fight you, okay?
God. From what I hear, it is definitely not.
Yeah, from what you hear. But you know what? From what I heard, the show sucked. Then I actually watched it, and I was like, wow, okay, I was wrong.
No, the show didn't suck. It was the last season that sucked.
Yeah, okay, well, don't listen to him. He's wrong.
What?
Clone Wars is good as long as it has Maul.
No.
Why do people love Maul from like? I just don't. I just don't get it.
People like Maul because he was a cool character, but the
like,
reason you don't like him is because he was dead.
But not like even so. Like if I just pretend Maul was a new character, like he wouldn't stick out to me. Like he's a bad guy in Clone Wars, whatever.
I would say he's pretty cool.
Like okay, like what's cool about Maul in Clone Wars?
He literally wipes out. I don't know if it was the Hutt family. He wipes out like a whole entire room of gangsters and takes over Mandalore.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool, man.
We see people kill people in Star Wars all the time. Like there's nothing.
I liked Maul in Clone Wars for the sole fact that he's the guy that basically was forgotten and he's trying to find his place in the. Like,
I mean,
everyone forgot about him. Even Kenobi didn't care about him.
He wasn't forgotten. He died. Like.
No, he's forgotten about.
No. That's not what I mean. Like, when he comes back, like everybody forgot about him. But by the point being that Obi-Wan, even though that Maul was the guy who killed him, didn't care anymore because he moved on. But Maul didn't. Maul is still latching onto the past.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maul's just whatever. Like.
Hey, let's talk about some positive Star Wars things. Let's change the.
The original.
Trevor says he brought a really violent energy to the show. I could see that. He does just straight up murder Satine.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, yeah. That was.
He did that before Maul even came back. So.
But we did already see, like, Maul just straight up murdered Qui-Gon. Like that wasn't. I don't know.
So some
I
positive
think the
Star
biggest
Wars
novelty of Maul in Clone Wars was like, oh, he has a personality now, which is. Like,
It doesn't really matter what we talk about. We're always going to disagree on something like this.
The original trilogy is great.
I mean, we can talk about Episode 8. I love that.
Yeah,
I don't like Episode
Okay.
8. Do you want to debate it,
hey,
Jay?
unlike you, Jay, I can compliment Episode 8.
I mean, okay, I can compliment the prequels for things that I like. Like,
I don't know. It seems kind of difficult sometimes.
I mean, that's because that movie's actually bad. No, I'm kidding.
Episode 8 is just where Leia just slaps, though.
It is very difficult. Okay, like people are like, okay, like you're overly critical of the prequel. Say something nice, and like I genuinely try, like I really do. But like, it's not my fault that the prequels actually suck. I'm sorry. I was just saying.
No, the fact that really pushed my button recently was when I was like, Jay, what about this scene? Like, this scene is good, like really good, and you're like, it's whatever, and I'm like, what?
I just like I said,
In
like,
Revenge of the
I
Sith-
told you the concept of the scene is fine, but with those characters, I just like it. Like if Rose and Finn had that scene, like, would you say, oh, it's powerful?
I would say yes.
No,
it's
you
powerful.
come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. Okay, hold on. If Zero the Hutt and Sice Noodles had that scene, would you say it's powerful?
No, but
Okay.
Anakin and Padme. Okay, no, fellas, let me explain this to you.
Yeah, what scene?
What was the scene?
Alright, boys. So, no matter how you feel about the prequels, we were on this positive Star Wars vibe saying, what is your favorite moment, excluding battle sequences like lightsaber duels? What is your favorite moment from each Star Wars movie? And we'd go through some. Jay, I don't even remember what your episode one was, but like.
I probably said the pod race. I think I said the pod race.
The pod race. Mine from episode 1 was when Anakin leaves his mother. I thought that was really well done.
Right.
And like all these, we get to episode 3. And personally, I like a lot of moments from episode 3, but I can objectively look at them and say, yes, that had bad dialogue there. Yes, that had bad CGI there. Whatever. There's one scene that I've always said, wow, that was a great scene, and it's the scene, if anyone remembers. It was the scene where, holy crap, Bricks Films.
Oh, real quick, shout out to Bricks Films. Oh my god, for the $14.99 dono. He says, it's been a minute since I donated, but what's up, boys? What's going on, dude? How are you? Thank you so much.
Wait, was it $499?
What?
So the scene is when Anakin and Padme...
You kind of cut out for me for a second. How much was the money?
$14.99.
Oh, I thought you said $499.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jay's just casually like, oh, thanks, Bricks Films.
Oh, that's cool, man. Appreciate it. Next time, can we make
so
it
Revenge of the
even
Sith-
500 next time? Jeez. Don't
Revenge
cheap
of the
out
Sith,
on
Padme
me.
and Anakin are looking over each other through Coruscant on sunset or sunrise. And it's right before Anakin has a lot going through his mind about how he needs to save Padme, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And Padme is over there like, oh, I'm Padme. And they just, it's silent. It's this really eerie music. And they're just looking over Coruscant for like a minute straight with this really eerie music as Anakin sheds a few tears. And then he goes, and that's, afterwards he goes and, betrays the Jedi. And I say, wow, that scene, absolutely best scene in the whole entire movie. It's fantastic. And Jay goes, it's whatever. And I'm like, what?
For that scene, I really like that scene though.
Cole Christensen, a fellow J
supporter,
J lover, and sequel lover, and prequel hater, all the things. Even himself said, "Oh, that's a great scene." And I was like, "Thank you, Cole." And then Rich Boy Jay is like, "No."
I don't understand. Like, why do I have to like? Why do I have to like that scene? Like, what? Like, what is so indefensibly perfect about that scene?
It's just so well. The shot, how it looks.
The shot is okay. Like it's them looking out of a window, which is like every prequel shot.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
Real quick, shout out to Briggs Films again. Shout out to Briggs Films, guys. He says that's how Star Wars Theory reacts to his donos. Actually, he doesn't even read them. Well, since Star Wars Theory underreacts, I'm gonna overreact. Shout out to Briggs Films. Appreciate it, homie. You're the homie. Shout out to Briggs Films. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That was good.
Okay, the construction of the scene is fine. Like, it's good. My problem is just I just don't care. Like, that relationship is just so fundamentally flawed that it is kind of sad that this Star Wars Theory will cry over seeing Ahsoka, but like a $500 donation is what. Anyways,
I mean, you haven't. Did you cry over a $500 donation?
Oh yeah.
I don't. I mean, I wouldn't cry over Ahsoka though. That's the thing. Like, I don't. It takes a lot for me to cry, but I would still like get hype.
What about Edge coming out of retirement?
Whatever. It's just that relationship to me is just so fundamentally flawed. Like, it's that I feel like it's kind of symptomatic of the prequels as a whole. It's like they're trying to be so extra about something, but it's not earned. Like, that moment between them isn't earned because their relationship just unfolds terribly on screen.
I think that scene, well, yes, it is focused on their relationship. I more or less focus on it's Anakin contemplating everything that has been kind of going through, and I agree it's rushed. I mean, Anakin's betrayal of the Jedi, it's very complete. I agree with that, but I still like it. And I think I like that scene is because you can tell Anakin, you just know Anakin is just thinking about everything. He's thinking, okay, what's going to happen? How can I save Padme? And I know, okay, yeah, it's all about saving Padme. But it's the idea that, especially after you watched it before, you know what's about to go down. And especially as a kid, I'm always like, oh, no, like, I know it's going to go down. And, like, it's especially when Anakin sheds the tear because he knows what he has to do, or he knows bad things are happening. I don't know.
It's like, I don't understand why that's like, oh.
Yeah, what a horrible scene.
No, like, I mean, it's fine, but
how dare he cry?
Just because Anakin sits there and cries like a little baby. Like, I don't know.
I'm sorry, he has visions of his wife.
Hold on one sec. I want to restart my computer because I'm lagging like crazy right now. Can you guys hear me?
That's not the point of the scene.
Like, he's crying because he's about to betray the Jedi. That's what
he's giving
him.
up on everything he's
doing. He knows he can betray the Jedi though. He's just like,
he knows that he knows he has to join the dark side to save Padme. I would say, yeah, that's a pretty emotional thing.
You know, when he takes off Windu's hands, like, he's like, oh man, I can't believe I did that. He's not like, yeah, I did that because I was totally just thinking about it. Like, no.
No, but when he's sitting over the window, he knows, like, the only way to
Hey, what's up?
Thank you.
Yeah.
As much. Like, yeah, it's a fine scene, but like, throughout the movies, I haven't been attached to him as much. If that was Luke,
Are you saying it's not earned? Is that what you're saying?
Then it would be like, okay, yeah, maybe.
And that's, you know, I'll give it to you. I mean, that's gonna be from person to person. I personally cared about Episode 3 Anakin by that point enough to be like, oh wow, that, like, not that necessarily like I'm gonna justify what he's doing, but I'm like, I sympathize with him in a sense. Like, dang, that's like a really, like, I mean, yeah, I'm just like, man, that.
Right, can you guys hear me?
I can. Hi.
Okay, yeah, I had to restart my computer real quick. My stuff was acting up. So most of your conversation happened off stream. But anyways, we are actually gonna have to shut it down because I need to go take care of something. So as much as I'd love to sit and hang, your boy got oh my god, Brickstorm's making it hard. Says I love episode 3, it's my favorite, but I think that the music is so well done it makes some scenes more emotional. For example, when Obi-Wan tells Padme Anakin turns to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. The dialogue sucked, but the music was great.
The fact that he laughs like while telling her that he killed younglings is just so like that's the prequels.
I just realized it's been like 3.5 hours.
Like, the music's fine, but it doesn't make it good, in my opinion. And that's from someone who loves Star Wars music.
You know, I genuinely feel like because episode, like, that scene in a movie like episode 3 feels a lot more significant because you go through the first 2 movies and you're just begging for something. Like, please, like, give me, like, a moment. Like, give me something deep and emotional. Like, the last quote-unquote emotional moment Anakin had was, they're animals, so I killed them like animals. So it's like, please, like, give me something. Like, give me, like, a moment to really, like, see this dude's pain. So, like, they give, like, they do it. They finally do something. So it's, like, this big revelation, like, wow, like, this is emotional. Like, imagine that.
I disagree. I think even if the prequels, like, were just good, I would still say that scene would stand out no matter what.
I feel like that scene would be, like, average in, like, The Last Jedi. Like, absolutely.
Okay. Your jokes are good.
I'm dead serious. Okay, I say compare that scene to, like, Kylo Ren telling Rey that she's nobody. Like, I would say, like, that's, like, impactful and emotional. Like, Rey starts crying, but, like, that moment is earned. Like, things build up to that. It's like Rey has spent the past 2 films, like, looking for a father figure in Luke, in Han, like, kind of naive about like whether or not her parents are going to come back. So, like, that's like a big, like, deep emotional moment for her. So, like, that moment is earned, and I think it pays off pretty well in that scene. The Anakin and Padme thing, like, whatever.
I mean, see, that's where we'll disagree. I mean, obviously, I like Revenge of the Sith more than I like The Last Jedi. Now, obviously, it's going to play into both of our opinions.
Right.
And I actually do like that scene in The Last Jedi when you're talking about when he's holding out your hand. He's like, you're nobody. You came from nobody. Is that the scene? Kylo Ren after they kill Snoke?
Yeah.
That seems good. Like that seems good. Don't get me wrong. But personally, I would still say I think the Anakin and Padme scene's better. And
that's fine. I'm just telling you how I feel. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you how I feel.
You're just Rich Boy Jay.
I'm just a guy that's 25. Lego Star Wars is my life. I like Rian Johnson. I'm Rich Boy J, baby. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was a very fun stream. It's good to get to talk Star Wars about. It's good to talk about Star Wars at any point about anything. I mean, we criticize it a lot, and it's across the board. But I do genuinely feel like it comes from a place of love. Like, if I just didn't care about this stuff, like, I wouldn't criticize it. Like, I'd say, like, I got to the point with Mando where, like, I didn't even care enough to criticize it. But, like, most Star Wars things, like, the prequels were the first part of Star Wars I was exposed to, and it'll always be meaningful and significant to me. And that's why, like, I'll sit here and talk to Bob about it, because I do actually care. And I did love those movies at some point, so I guess that's something. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This set is
having me on, Jay.
very cool. I definitely recommend you pick. I mean, do you guys really need me to tell you to pick the set up? I'm sure all of you are going to do it anyways. Beskar Mando is hot.
I'm definitely gonna be getting that set.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have a good Christmas, Jay.